Alrighty. Let's just make sure I can load this stream. Alrighty, it looks like I'm live. Let's get this link out to some folks. Alrighty. So not a lot to see at the moment, but I know we are at 31, potentially 32 players. Let's see, GP Archive. We're at 32. Playing stream and have a diet soda while we wait for lists to drop. Ah, a nice, refreshing beverage. I just got some water on hand. It's pretty late at night. Don't really want the caffeine. But yeah, 32 players. One more than last month. We're eating well. If we hop over to not sure if this is, yeah, kind of gets cut off by just the way I have to crop the stream here. But the last time we were really hitting these kind of numbers, like season 11, there was a 9-player drop between months 1 and 2. Season 10, there was a 4-player drop from 20 players to 16. Season 9, there was 1-player gain from 15 to 16 in GPL Aranta at the start of last year into GP Telhado, with that being, I believe, Awakening in Uldum. Then Theros had a 4-player drop off from GP Pide into GP Bulvum from 22 to 18. Prior to that was Hyperpop with 22 to 17. Then Blood Like Rivers from 19 to 18. Last time we had like a really significant number of players. It's been a long time since we've had like a significant number of players for like 2 GPs in a row, and especially like the first 2 GPs of a season. So really happy to see so much hype around all of this. Yeah, it's been like alternating big and small GPs, and so having big GPs back to back is just super exciting. Like I was kind of bummed that we were going like 29 players in GPS Droth down to 20 in Scofos, back up to 26 in Bastion Dorley, and then 18 in GP 4th Street was really disheartening. I really love the Eternal format, and only 18 people participating in Eternal was kind of a bummer. Um, and I say only in terms of comparison to the GPs that came before it, and now definitely the GPs that came after, where like we're closing in on double what we had in December, um, which is great because this is the result of both having more people joining the format, more people getting into the format for the first time, and wanting to really engage with what we have going on here, coupled with, of course, a lot of excitement. Uh, and hype just within the community around trying to engage with the format more. It's a lot of build up, a lot of excitement, and I'm personally so thrilled. GP Destari only had 9 players. Yeah, yeah. Destari. Oh God, which set was that? Destari. Oh no, that wasn't Karslov, right? No. Oh, maybe I'm getting things a little bit wrong because I said P-Day. Oh yeah, no, it was Neokana into Wildcourt Secret was Hyperpop. Bergenon into Umberdeep was uh DOV. Yeah, Dastari was the variant format going from Blood Lake Rivers into uh Duelist of Varro. God, what was this? What was this format? Oh yeah, that'd do it. It was Brawl. Brawl, I guess, was not a very popular format. Uh, 3-player top cut is crazy. Tetra winning this tournament with Oko Trickster of the Trade, and promoting Wildkin Imposter. A very cool card, honestly. Um, but yeah, I personally have not gotten to engage in any of the Brawl seasons so far. I'm not going to go so far as to say like, oh, the Brawl seasons just aren't interesting. I think that would be a lie to say that. I think the Brawl seasons are pretty cool. I just haven't taken an opportunity to engage with any of it. And 16 players engaging in GP Rotoran at the end of the Cyberos season definitely indicates that there is some hype around it. This was a like a 5-player top cut, which is not that like insignificant considering only 16 players. And you have to go 3-1 or better to make top cut. And Split Moon, this was the start of the like season of Anarchist and Split Moon, where it was Anarchist won a tournament, Split Moon won a tournament, Anarchist won a tournament, Split Moon won a tournament. And so I'm just kind of sitting here looking at the 2024 season with Split Moon on 3 GP wins over the course of 2024. One GP Telhado in February, one GP Radaran Brawl tournament in August, one GP Skofos in October. And so I wonder if Split Moon qualified for Worlds. Welcome in, Stasis. We are kind of just filling time while we wait for deck lists to be posted. We have probably more than 6 minutes. I doubt we're going to be getting deck lists the moment the clock strikes 12. I don't know if Brawl turns off new players. I wonder if the variant seasons kind of just struggle in general because like it is asking people who are keeping up in general like for people who kind of just float around the format and like don't have time to really grind a lot of league play or really keep up with the format, and they kind of just engage for the GPs and just kind of look at what lists are really cool. I wonder if they kind of float away from the variant formats, the variant seasons at the end of each, the variant ones at the end of each season, in part because, uh, you have a situation before you where like you're asking people to engage with a new format, because I think the Brawl seasons are really interesting. I think the Eternal seasons are really exciting. I had a lot of fun with Eternal Pauper, but it seems like a lot of people just kind of like slide off of it. You have a feeling the April format is going to be very controversial, but I didn't hear it from you. I haven't heard it from anybody. I'm excited to see what the April variant format is. If I recall correctly, the one thing that we got an indication of is people speculating it would be Pauper and getting confirmation it wouldn't be. Um, and I don't imagine it'd be Brawl or Eternal so recently after the last Brawl and Eternal tournaments. Um, so I am eager to see what it's going to be. I'm also just like always eager to see shakeups in the format. Like, I think having a stable format is really nice. I think, the format being in a very comfortable, safe place is always nice to have. Where like there's just enough cool things going on, but there's nothing that's so like glaringly problematic that like it needs to be addressed. And I kind of feel like we're trending in that direction with this current environment. There are some things where I'm like, maybe that's a little bit strong, maybe that's a little bit oppressive, but like compared to where we were last month, where I was like, berries is just crazy, harbor mail's just crazy. Um, a lot of people with 3 GP wins. Zangy, Split, and Ricky. Plotty has 4 wins, but All Who Wander has 6 GP wins, double most players. Yeah, I like posited this theory a while back, and I mean like first tournament of Karsus season while back, where I went into the Karsus first GP of Karsus, and I went in kind of blind. I could probably even pull up the deck list real quick while we wait if I can find the darn tournament. So Altenzia was that, Adderdoll was that. It was January. GP Rogues Palace, I think. I think this was it. No, I might be wrong. Rogues Palace might not have been it. GP Archive. Maybe it was Altenzia? Yeah, because this was, maybe? No, because this was Karslav. What? But yeah, so Altenzia was Karslav. So September, so August, July, June, May, GP Adderdoll, I guess? Most impressed by Anarchist. They're a pretty new player to Rev and have multiple GP wins, whereas All Who Wander's been playing from day one. More trying to bump up Anarchist than anything else. It is impressive. Just was noting how neat it is that Awe has so many wins under their belt. I don't see much convo of how good a player they are often. Yeah, I think so. Going into GP Adderdoll, I remember there was a lot of hype around. No, this is also not the deck I'm thinking of. What is this? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? I'm trying to find. So this was won by Fazer, who was on Mono Red Military, but Military came out after Karsus, because that was Karslav. So it couldn't have been GP Adderdoll, so it had to have been GP Rogues Palace. Am I losing my mind? Okay, no, Rogues Palace was the first. Okay, Rogues Palace was the first Karsus format. Where's All Who Wander in here? Here we are. Yeah, it was All Who Wander was innovating on the red-white artifacts deck. Yeah, I do talk about All Who Wander being a very good player a good bit, and I'm about to go into diatribe about how I think All Who Wander is a very good player. GP Rogue's Palace, I went in and I talked about like I didn't really know the format all that well, and my theory was just like I think I just need to kind of look at how well All Who Wander's doing with this deck, and look at how they're playing it and see if I can make some thoughts and decisions about the direction this deck is going. I think a lot of people were looking at going like black red artifacts around the time, and a lot of people were pushing towards black red artifacts. And I think I was the only person besides All Who Wander who identified that the red white build, primarily mono red, but with white for piece together and Glyph of Protection, just felt like such a solid plan. And of course, you got Perspicacity, you got Calamity Smith, you got Scourge of the Spine, Conjoined Radiant, Partners in Crime. A lot of these just like kind of crazy, unfair mana generating artifact matters cards. Give me Imgar and Duelist with sustainable investments. I will be so responsible. See, here's the thing, Stasis. We don't need Imgar and Duelist. Why get aggressive when you could just cast spells for 3 or more colors? I will spend time with I will absolutely spend time with Gubernatorial Fundraiser when I feel I'm a little less worried about the state of artifact decks. I'm a little worried about the state of artifact decks right now, so I didn't want to jam it. Also, I think my deck is very well positioned into a sustainable investments deck, which we'll get into when deck lists are posted. Saw a Discord notification, but it was not informing me that decks are posted. Blue-red goober so you can counter the artifact hate spells. True. Teamer Gubernatorial Fundraiser. That's the plan. You get wait, but no, Panders, the unconditional counters, the only unconditional counter that you can spend 3 colors of mana on that's also good is Afara's Judgment. So you need to play 4-color goobers. Because you need green for sustainable investments and red for gubernatorial fundraiser, but you need blue and white for Afara's Judgment. Obviously. At that point, you might as well also play black and just play 5-color sustainable investment counter spells. Just for fun. If only there was a way to color fix. Yeah, gosh, if only. If only all of these treasures actually did something. Yeah, getting onto like hyping up Anarchist, I fully agree. Like, because if I recall correctly, like Magdalena Bay was like I think the first time they registered for a tournament. Yeah, because they're not in Techian. Yeah, if I remember correctly, like Magdalena Bay was their first time participating in a GP. They went, I believe, 1 and 2. They went 0 and 2. Unfortunate, but like they turned that around into GP Tugay win. Rodarin, they did not make top cut. Istroth, they won. Scophos, they did not participate. Or no, they did participate in. They won round 1, lost round 2, won round 3, lost round 4. So they went 2 and 2 in Scophos. Bastion d'Orlais, they got knocked out of quarterfinals by All Who Wander, who went all the way to finals. GP 4th Street, they did not participate in. Did they participate in Mishiro Town? I don't think they did. We have 33 registered for Whitecliff. This is now officially the second most played tournament. The second most populous tournament going into they were in GP 4th, you thought you saw them in top. Nope. GP 4th Street was All Who Wander, Chip, Itai, Philippe, and Cool Beans. Yeah, Stasis, you've had a great conversion rate. Etai's also had a phenomenal conversion rate, and Etai's also a pretty new player, if I recall. Um, oh, Stasis, not Stasis. Brain. Scribble has confirmed decklist submissions are locked. We are at 33 players for the tournament. Um, I'm just going back real quick to look. Oh, pairings are up. I'm up against Provocative. Alrighty. We are in GP Whitecliff, which means let's take a look at deck lists. Philippe gets the bye here. Oh, this is going to be a long stream. We're live. We're live. Despite technically being around since day one, I probably have only been in like 4 GPs, I think. I've definitely let Johnny tendencies get in the way of performance. I my conversion rate to top cut is like it's sub 50%, I think, but I think I want to say I've made it to 5 top cuts. I forget the exact math. I've definitely participated in more than 5 GPs. All right, let's go through things. So I believe this is in submission order. Yeah, this is going to be in submission order, and then Philippe is just out of submission order because they got the bye. So let's go through it. Starting with Kumrak on Esper Kanaya Stone control. Good news for Stasis. 4 copies of Tireless Aspirants as the only creature. Great Wander creature. Let's see what they're cooking here. Obviously, Kanai Stone, tap, draw 2, discard a card. Good filtering, and if you run out of cards in deck, this is going to be able to allow you to start drawing cards from your sideboard so you don't just lose the game. 4 copies of Gone Pickin', 3 Shrine to Keranos, 4 Omen of Deception. 2 Bring the House Down, 2 Chronicle of Extinction, 4 Final Fates, my goodness. 4 Afara's Judgment, 4 Illustrious Shangfa, count 'em, 4. And the 4 Tireless Aspirants, alongside 25 lands with 3 Cityscape, 1 Gates to the Underworld, 1 Ephemeral Mire, 4 Primal Fissure, 4 Tyrrell District, and 4 of each basic. Pretty solid, straightforward mana base. Yeah, Kanai Stone actually I think is a really good shout with so many people on Gulpin. This is something I talked about in my I forget if I talked about it in my deck tech actually. But something I meant to talk about in my deck tech is I think artifacts that are priced at 3 or less are both something that is so artifacts and enchantments that are 3 mana or less are both so important to where people are at in the meta right now. And also, I feel like they're actually they're kind of in a really awkward spot right now because of Gulpin, because of Hungry Blob. Whereas I think having like a higher cost artifact or enchantment to care about allows you to be pretty numb to Hungry Blob and not really care. Like, what are they going to do? Board in Hungry Blob to pick off your Omen of Deception, your Shrine to Keranos? Cool, your Kanai Stone doesn't care. And they can pick off Shrine to Keranos or Omen of Deception, but you've already kind of gotten the main value out of it, most likely. The most valuable thing there is pick off a Gone Pickin', and then you're just running Hungry Blob as anti-removal, which, yeah, this deck's sweet. This deck is very sweet. I'm actually not sure how I feel about contest coordinator in this list. Hits any of the 4 copies of Shangfa, hits 2 Bring the House Down, hits 4 Omen of Deception, 4 Kanai Stone. That's 14 plus 4 planes. It only hits 16 cards in the deck. I don't think that's a good. This is a good contest coordinator deck. I just don't think there's enough activated abilities in the list. Sideboard is a full 4 forget their names. My God, somebody does not want to play against bats. or somebody wants to beat bats, rather. 3 copies of Dissect Intel, 2 Chronicle Extinction, 2 more Bring the House Down, so 2 more of each of these solid board wipes, and 4 full Fall of Traxes. My god. 18? 4 Kanai Stone is 4, 8, 10, 14? Oh, yeah, 18. 85% to hit. Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing I feel about Contest Coordinator, and I kind of felt it about Journey Begins as well. I think having a high percentage chance to hit off of the card is very different from having a high percentage chance to have good choices off of the card. It like at the point where you're just using it to find one thing and put 4 ineligible targets on the bottom of your library, why aren't you just running raw card advantage? My thoughts on Contest Coordinator and Journey Begins have definitely cooled a lot, because as good as I think they are, I think they demand a lot of your deck building. They demand for you to have like a majority of your deck as eligible hits, I think. Good defensive body that draws a relevant card most of the time. Sure, but I think draws a relevant card most of the time isn't really the case when you only have 18 out of 60 cards that you could potentially hit, and more importantly, when it only has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential different cards it can hit, especially when one of those different cards is a basic plains, which is assumed you already have some white mana. So because you're casting a white spell. Put it like this, it's not a great Concord deck, and the deck card should still see play in it. It's just really good, in my opinion. Anyways, I'll stop beating a dead horse now. I'm inclined to disagree. I think Contest Coordinator has its place, but I think it really needs to be in a shell that can leverage the selection better. And we're going to get to that in just a moment. But I do agree that Contest Coordinator is good. I just think the deck building requirements there are a little bit more than I have 5 cards that can fetch. Case in point, Scribble is on Esper Abilities, which is a deck that's probably going to leverage Contest Coordinator very well. They're on 4 Coordinators, 4 Dormant Monstrosities, 3 Sinido Voidsinger, 2 Illustrious Shangfa, 4 The Ruins Awaken, 4 Search and Seizure, 4 Seal Shoals, 4 Ominous Slaughter, 4 Gone Pickin', and 2 Light Vein Purifier. My god. Hello. I was not ready for the Light Vein Purifier. What the hell? Somebody doesn't want to flood out. Who needs land drops? I'm going to make my extra redeveloped cityscape into a 4/4 and beat you to death with it. Good lord. All right. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, I like Scribble is always like cooking on the like next horizon and always impresses me with it. It's great. So like case in point on Contest Coordinator, not to beat a dead horse, but 4 Dormant Monstrosity, 3 Sinido makes 7, 2 Shangfa makes 9, 4 Ruins Awaken makes 13, 4 Seal Shoals makes 17, 4 Omen makes 21, 2 Light Vein Purifier makes 23, and 4 Plains makes 27. Still less than 50% of the deck, but I think that's a more reliable density of different cards you can hit off a Contest Coordinator to really help up the ability to choose multiple things. Scribble is allergic to creatures, but this is a loophole. Scribble literally played Golems last month. That's a creature deck, totally. Definitely 100% a creature deck. Look, they're a creature deck. They're playing 4 creature lands. 4 gates to the underworld in a Dormant Monstrosity deck. What is happening here? My goodness, this is an interesting list. Much better Concord deck than the last one. We're on the same page as that. Yeah. Dormant Monstrosity is really weird here. I guess like it's good enough with Seal Shoals, I guess, if you're starting to go late. Because, like, you could just rip counters off of this to draw a card while also generating seals. It's eligible card advantage off of Contest Coordinator. I feel like you get beat to death. Like, how do you not just get beat to death with this? I guess Ruins Awaken. I guess this is how you avoid getting beat to death. This is very interesting. Oh, you could, theoretically. Opponent's end step, Late Vein Purifier one of your lands, untap, Late Vein Purifier another one of your lands, swing 8 with lifelink, and lose 2 lands, draw 2 cards. Over 96% to hit on Concord on curve. Nice. Gulpin is definitely better here, cracking Light Vein and Shoals. Yeah, I think Gulpin looks really good in the format. Like, cracking Seal Shoals, cracking Light Vein Purifier, there's not even that many good hits for Gulpin, and I still think it's probably fine to, like, board in against this deck because of Shoals, because of Light Vein Purifier, and even, like, Titan's Bane and Deception's Edge in the sideboard. Speaking of the sideboard, 2 Cassia the Carefree, 2 Empty Shell, 2 Maim, 4 Forget Their Names again? Nobody wants to let bats win, my god. 4 Forget Their Names in 2 decks in a row? Oh, I still have the thing saying I'm waiting on decks on stream. Thank you so much, Zangy. I always forget about that. 2 Maim, 4 Forget Their Names, 1 each reprocession, 2 Top the Charts, 1 Titan's Bane, 1 Deception Edge. 1 each reprocession's weird. I feel like if you want this, you probably want more than 1, right? Yeah, we're waiting for the cool. I mean, I don't know, Panders. We've kind of already seen some cool decks. We're 2 out of 33 in, and we've seen some cool decks. Cool Beans, something about, like, the Prizzler, as in, like, prismatic, but, like, the Rizzler, you know what I mean? Point is, this deck brings the boom. Oh god, there sure is a glitch here. What? What is happening with this GP? What are people cooking? I can already tell from Styles' list. I'm assuming they're on, like mono black Kill Myself, but I see 3 creatures, 26 lands, so Sui is probably not Sui black. What is happening, this GP? So 3 Ignited Soul is the only creature. Are people just not playing creatures this month? Once again, I make a prediction that something is going to be a certain way. I say in my deck tech, I think this is going to be a very aggressive GP, and people just hear my deck tech before I've even finished recording, and they're like, all right, registering a total of 0 creatures. So 3 Ignited Soul, 2 Glitch Chaos Redeemed, 3 Light Vein Arrow, 3 Refract, 4 All That Remains, 4 Gleaming Laser, 4 Industrialize, 3 Coup d'etat, 2 Chronicle of Extinction, 4 Prismatic Mantle, 4 Aqua Crew Flagship, and 24 lands across 8 fetches, 4 districts, 4 light veins, and 3 island, 3 mountain, 2 swamp. Little concerned about 2 swamp when you're playing Chronicle of Extinction, but I mean, yeah, actually no. I'm just gonna say, I'm a little concerned by the 2 swamp when Chronicle is literally your only double pip cost spell. That's a little concerning, but it's not that harmful. You've got the 8 fetches, you've got Light Vein, you got District. 2 Warden Depths in the sideboard, 2 Liquidate, 2 Search and Seizure, 4 Forget Their Names. What the did everybody just agree behind my back to play Forget Their Names in a 4 of, so that anyone who brings bats just gets to pack up and go to the moon? What's happening? I don't understand. Did someone put something in my drink? What is going on? 1 coup d'etat, 2 critical capture, and 2 defect. Forget Their Name really doesn't really do anything into Sultai Surface, does it? Hit Harbor Mail, I guess. It's not even midnight for me, and I already feel deluded. Yeah, It does do some stuff into Sultai Surface. Like I guess people were just really bracing. Oh my god, this GP is gonna be miserable for me. I'm on a graveyard deck. No. Oh, this is gonna be miserable. I just have to have my own forget their names and eat theirs. That's my plan into every fucking matchup this tournament. I'm gonna pass out. All right, Styles is. Oh, thank God, they're on Soul Guide Lantern. I'll just dodge every forget their names matchup. We'll see what Provocative is on. Benthelos of Fantasy. This is not Sui. This is white blue control. I feel lied to. Sui implies you're playing mono black hurt yourself. Dark Horse was picking up steam from Lit as well, and you can extract out Shengfa that way. Yeah, getting out Shengfa out of graveyards against like Dark Horse decks is pretty good. That being said, this is not a Dark Horse deck. So 3 Benthelos, 2 Shengfa, 1 Tyranny of Tracks, 1 To the Last Breath, 4 Seafloor Treasures, 4 Afara's Judgment, 2 Divine Mishap, 4 Fall of Atlantean, 2 Travel Through the Mystic Sea, 4 Omen of Deception, 4 Seal Away, 3 Gone Pickin'. This is Zangi's deck. This is Zangi's deck from last month, but retooled to not have Harbor Mail. Like it even still has Seafloor Treasures. Okay. 400-handed pillars. My God. 2 island, 7 plains, 4 fisher, 4 cityscape, 1 temple of enlightenment, 4 temple of origins, as well as 4 Psyhawk in the board, a 3rd Shengfa, 2 more Tyranny of Tracks, full playset of Fall of Tracks, full playset of Soul Guide Lanterns. Yeah, Seafloor Treasures is still good. Fully agree. White blue untap looking pretty good. Yeah, white blue Drago, always a good classic. Total of 5 sorcery speed spells. Requiem's not first time. Also on this list. Is that the same? That is the same 75. When did people discuss these things? When did people discuss, like, did I miss the conversation about, like, let's just play white blue Drago? I feel like there's some chat I'm not in. Like, I do not have a beat on the format that I thought I did. Yeah, 5 control decks so far. And, like, spoilers, there may be 20 creatures here. I'm going to level with you, Panders. I still consider this like a mid-range control deck. So it's like, it's mid-range, but it definitely skews towards the control side of things, I think. So I'm counting this as a 6th control deck. Panders is on VIP section, a Prismatic Mantle mid-range deck. That I got the yeah, you are a control deck. I know what you are. Oh my God, Chip. I'm getting ahead of myself, but Chip. Chip. Also, Stasis, what do you mean? Quantum Leaper's a control win con. I'm losing my mind. Anyways. So, 4 Sunwood Merc, 4 Dormant Camel as the 2 drops, 2 Sashanki Destiny's Chosen, or Beyonce, as she is better known, 4 Quantum Leaper, 2 Moresso Infuser Light, 2 Venus the Basilisk, also known as Caroline Polacek, and 2 Mickey and Pop Paragon, also known as Dorian Electra. Like a solid mid-range set of bodies, good at fighting for the board, good at applying pressure, backed up by 2 copies of Sonido Voidsinger, 4 Light Vein Arrow, 4 Stolen Secrets, and 2 Liquidate. These Stolen Secrets are true evil. Like, I play tested against this list a little bit when I was considering bringing black white colorless control, and Pander single-handedly sold me on not playing that deck because Stolen Secrets just bodied me by stealing a Sinido and a Shangfa. Yeah, you left out JJ Mac, so it's not really a good deck. Can you call it a good deck if you're not playing JJ Mac? 24 lands, with 3 Primal Fissure, 4 Cityscape. I'm interested by the 3 Fissure, 4 Cityscape, rather than the other way around. 2 Mountain, 1 Island, 3 Forest, 1 Swamp, 2 Plains, 1 Studio Excelsior, 1 Magdalena Bay, 2 Frigid Highlands, and 4 Nations Light Vein. Sideboard is 3 Blobs, 1 Sinido, 1 Liquidate, 3 Search and Seizure, 3 Data Wipe, 3 Coup d'etat, and 1 Swamp. I'm guessing the Swamp for when you want to bring in more of these black cards, because Hungry Blob is literally the only non-black card in the sideboard, and there's only 1 Swamp in the main. Yeah, I like the sideboard. I haven't gotten to play against this deck. Yeah, this deck is sweet. The Data Wipe is particularly mean, you monster. Like, Go Blank sure was standard playable. All right. All right. Chipmunks, Red White Electies aggro with classic Electies cards like Relentless Bats and Relentless Bats and Relentless Bats and Relentless Bats and Relentless Bats. I love the Kimmis shout here. This is such a great way to get an Anthem in for your bats in a reasonable degree. And, you know, the mana demands of Relentless Bats make it very easy to put colorless cards into your deck. 4 Temple of Origins, just going to talk about the mana base real quick now, because we got this colorless card here. We're on 4 Temple, 4 Coalesced Core, 3 Coalesced Glacier, 4 Primal Fissure, 2 Cityscape, 1 Wastes, 2 Islands, 3 Swamps. More fetches, less fetchable lands than there are lands that can fetch with them, fetch for them. But that is fine. We don't need more than 3 lands, because the 3rd land is just how we get Kimmis into play. 2 Festered Effluvium, 4 Phoenix's Judgment, 2 Dissect Intel, 4 Laystone of Ruin, 1 Pull of Tizerus, and 3 Silence the Opposition. Ooh, oh, that's scary. Oh, that's good spice. Kimmis is sick here. Silence the Opposition is very sick here. Like, I think that flips very slowly is my biggest concern. But, like, if you flip this, your bats are 2/1s. Your opponent's creatures are -1 power. Yeah, this deck never wins into Forget Their Names. Unfortunately for Chip, they might have the worst time in the world against anybody with Forget Their Names in their sideboard. 2 Phoenix Brazen Thief, 4 Data Weaver, 2 Dissect Intel, 2 Pull of Tizerus, 3 Earthly Penchants, 2 Soul Guide Lantern. See, the funny thing that Chip can do here is into any matchup with 4 Forget Their Names, they board out 15 Relentless Bats for the 15 cards in their sideboard. Like, that's just how you win that matchup. They go, all right, I'm gonna Forget Their Names, your Relentless Bats, and you go, okay, I'm not on that plan anymore. Psych, that's the wrong number. Wiffles, Welcome to Mount Moon, also on Relentless Bats and Central Intelligence, also on Silence the Opposition, Laystone of Ruin, and the full Phoenix's Judgment, but on 3 Festered Effluvium, yeah, on 3 Festered Effluvium, on no Dissect Intel main, on no Pull of Tizerus main, 1 less land to just jam more Relentless Bats. Interesting. Have to Data Weaver a win con, yeah. Can you... Soul Guide can't wipe your own graveyard in response. It's each opponent's graveyard. Oh, notably, also an observable thing with Wiffle's deck, 1 less Coalesced Core, no Cityscapes, 4 Swamps, 3 Islands, 1 Waste. Sideboard here is much simpler. 4 Slink, 4 Disc Track, 3 Walk Among the Dead, 4 Soul Guide Lantern. Sorry, what? Oh, wow. Wiffle knew that we were going to have a control meta. Somebody told Wiffle what was going on here. Somebody told Wiffle what was going on here. For diss track. Have I enabled VOD? I believe this will be saved. I believe that once this is finished, this will be viewable. Let me double check real quick. I believe so. If I'm understanding correctly, that is what enable DVR does. So I think so. I think it's going to be saved. Yeah, good question, Stasis. I could not tell you what the hell's going on this GP. You were actually thinking of putting disk track in your sideboard? Well, at least I know what you're playing, because I shouldn't be surprised that you're on some sort of control deck, most likely. Volt Switch is on Night Riders, which is a black-red extraction mission deck. Oh my god, Salice's Vengeance. Alrighty. 4 Rooftop Slink, 2 Ignited Soul, 4 Tormenting Light Rider, 4 Pressuring Ghoul, 4 Expendable Arsonist, 4 Keeper of the Scale. Volt Switch has come out to say, die. And I approve. 4 copies of Light Vein Arrow, 3 Out with the Old, 2 Extraction Mission, 4 Salice's Vengeance, 3 Serve Again is awesome. Oh my god. Yeah, you just serve again, get Expendable Arsonist, serve again, get back like Rooftop Slink or Tormenting Light Rider. Just like as you swing in against your opponent and they kill your things, you just keep brutalizing them. That's great. The more people that sideboard it, the better, the worse it gets. Yeah. Yeah, this track definitely wants nobody else to be on that tech. You played into this on ladder. It was pretty cool. Keeper of the Scale was so good. Yeah, I remember seeing, I think that Volt Switch was putting up some solid performance with Night Riders. And I think this is their second GP. So, pretty exciting. 7 of each basic, Primal Fissures, Temple of Origins. Sideboard is 2 End of Mutations, very sick. 3 Gear Blowouts, very cool Shatter variants. Out with the Old, 3rd copy of Extraction Mission, 2 Mogus's Judgment, 3 Data Wipe, 3 Crumbling Tower. Yeah, pretty sweet. I would not mind seeing this perform and make it to top cut. I would mind having to play against this. This seems very scary. But yeah, I think this is definitely the first deck I've seen. Not to say that I think the other decks are bad in any capacity. I think all of the decks I've seen so far are good. Maybe true of Pander's deck as well. But like, this is a deck I think I'm excited to see how it performs. I'll also say that's true of Pander's 5-color Prismatic Mantle deck. Yeah, it definitely seems like a really great way to punish the greed that's been shown off so far. Crush Castles, PTM sent me deck list and I removed the lands. Oh no! Blue-red light speed! Oh god. So I did some playtesting into 2 decks bracing for this tournament. The 2 decks that I braced for this GP were Activated Ability Aggro and Blue-red light speed launcher. And this deck is scary. So 4 Savvy Smith, 4 Pensive Caldera, 2 Keranos Fickle Fortune. Wait, I am so confused right now. Hello, Flutterbully. What's confusing you? 4 Light Vein Arrow, 4 High Voltage, 4 Firebolt, Industrialize, Igneous Visions, Face the Phoenix, and Lightspeed Launcher. These are GP results for fake MTG cards. What is all this? This is not GP results. So this is a decklist stream covering the decks that are being submitted to Grand Prix Whitecliff, which is this month's tournament for Revolution Custom Standard. It is a format consisting entirely of sets designed by community members, where each set has a bunch of curated cards that that set designer created for the purpose of being played in sort of a singular set as though it were a real Magic release. The curators of the formats have 6 sets in the format at any given time, helping to make it as engaging of a format as it possibly can be. And we have rotations once every 3 months, or once every 4 months, where the oldest set in the format leaves the format and the new set replaces it. So we always have 6 sets at a time, and we always have 1 set leave and 1 set join. It's a very great community-driven environment, and I believe... nope, I did not update the description. Holy crap, that's such a cool idea. How have I not heard about this until now? We're a pretty small community. How do you learn more? Let me go ahead and drop the link in chat for you real quick. So the best way to join us and learn more about the format is going to be at our Discord server, at the Custom Magic official Discord server, rather. I can't say our. I'm not a member of the curator team. I'm not a member of the moderator team. But it is just such a wonderful community I've been a part of for such a long time. And there's just so many cool things that are going on. So it's just a thing that you and your stream viewers do, or is this more of a widespread thing? This is a community-led project. I am but a member of the community who enjoys the format a great deal, and enjoys playing the format a great deal. It is so much bigger than this stream, 100%. Yeah, you're going to want to join the server and look for the Revolution channels. Though a lot of the other channels on the server are going to be dedicated to things like custom card creation and set creation. Yeah, there's 33 people participating in this tournament, which is the second largest tournament we've had since the format's inception, which is very exciting. So, whole bunch of burn spells, some impulse draw, lightspeed launcher, which just generates so much card advantage, Temple of Origins, Temple of Epiphany, Primal Fisher, Nimbus of Thought, Island Mountain. Sideboard is 2 Flage, Titan of Burning Wind, 3 Molten Erosion, 2 Worm Shot. Oh my god, Worm Shot? Good lord. Alright. 2 Terminal Impact, 3 Pull the Wires, 3 Soul Guide Lantern. Huh. Yeah, this is not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun to fight. Yeah, I imagine Data Wipe is really good. In fact, this is part of why I wanted to be on... oh no, I'm blanking on the name of a card that's very good. I'm just scrolling up to find it. Because I know other people are running it. Where is it? Chronicle of Extinction. Thank you. There I am. All right, where was I? Here we are. But yeah, Flutterbilly, I'd highly recommend checking out the server if you haven't already. Folks in chat have some great recommendations for you on where to look. Stasis, I don't think you were able to post the link. I think the auto mod might have stopped you there. Let me go ahead and actually just grab the link to Manifesto real quick. There we are. Alrighty. And I'll look forward to seeing you around the community, Flutterbilly. Welcome. Yeah, this is scary. Blue red is very, very scary. Flage sideboard here is weird but neat to me. I think it makes a lot of sense, and the reason why I say I think it makes a lot of sense is I think in matchups where you just want some like more grindy value, like if your opponent has hand attack, this is a very safe thing to discard. Just in general, like you have Industrialize, which can loot things away. Pensive Caldera wants to loot things away. Savvy Smith wants to loot things away. Having some things that you enjoy discarding is very nice. It's part of why I think Industrialize and Igneous Visions is so good in this deck in general. So yeah, I think this deck is sweet. Kilgaris is on Un, which is a Bant Golems deck. Yeah, on the full 8 golem token makers. So, 4 Aspiring Anarchist, 4 Seeker of the New Horizons. So obviously we are on high density of basic lands. In fact, we are on 4 Primal Fissure, 3 Cityscape, 4 Neostelia, and 11 basics, 1 island, 7 forests, 3 plains. So the only time a land drop will never yield a trigger for Seeker of New Horizons is going to be if it's Neostelia. Good to note. 4 Unspeaking Titan, 4 Screeching Grauku, 4 Unflinching Titan, 3 Yeji Resplendent Idol, and 3 Survivors of the New World, as well as 4 Journey Begins, 4 Ragtag Squad, 4 Ruins Awaken, and then the 22 lands. Sideboard is 4 each of Psyhawk, Hungry Blob, and Charity Match, as well as 3 Soul Guide Lanterns. Yeah, seems pretty sweet. I know Charity Match, from what I'd heard, was actually putting up some really solid results, and I think Charity Match is just so sweet with the Titans in general, because like they're already going to be sitting around and just kind of generating some value for you if you aren't able to swing with them, and because like if there's in a state where you aren't able to swing with them, your opponents are disincentivized from interacting with them, which makes Charity Match inherently better to target them because your opponents don't want to remove something that can't attack or block. Except joke's on you, 8 spells that make 2 golems. Golems are like the best cards for Charity for sure. They are hard to remove. Oh yeah, especially with Unspeaking Titan giving your golems ward 1. Like, Unspeaking Titan is so good. All of the golems are so good. I'm so glad that the golems are so good. Like, I was nervous that they would be like just shy of constructed playable, and the fact that they have been popping up so many places and they have been performing well, oh, what a joy. Platy People's TRX block constructed. Platy, you have a deck building violation. This card's not from Theros Age of Trax. Sorry, Platy, disqualified. Hungry Blob, also not from Theros Age of Trax. So this is custom created by a small group of players who are trying to keep it as fun as possible to play. Is Drago control allowed to be a thing, or do people actively try to prevent it since people tend to not like it? There are a couple people who are actually we've covered a couple Drago decks for this tournament already. Here we go. Styles and Requiem are both on a like white-blue Drago deck. With, I believe, the exact same 75 cards. The goal of keeping things to be as fun as possible is primarily aimed at trying to encourage competitive diversity with the interest of making things fun from a competitive standpoint. So you know, like this is competitive in the sense of like the stakes have never been lower. I think is a great way to like sort of riff from you know, loading ready run, because the stakes are pretty much the winner of a tournament gets to make a choose a card from their deck and make a promo of it, and gets a qualifier to the world championships for that given coming year. Our next world championships is in April, so this is one of the last qualifying events for it. And the prize for winning the world championships is you get to design a card to get into the format. And that's it. Or no like money. Nobody's in this for money. This is purely for the love of it, for the love of the competition and for the love of the community. And it's such a joy because the stakes are as low as they are, where there's still a meaningful prize to get, but there isn't like compensation tethered there. You know, there is encouragement to make sure that you are having fun rather than trying to like spike out your opponents into oblivion. Zangi puts it great. Want to make sure that there's options that are out there, but nothing that's overbearing or too strong. Balance what's out there. Zangy is one of the members of the curator team. Zangy could probably answer any questions you have about the curation of the format. Not to put you on the spot, Zangy, but no, you do have that expertise. So talking about Platy's deck, we're on 4 Seeker of New Horizons, 4 Reaper of Fields, 4 Star-Studded Sagittar, 4 Kaineos Bladebound, 4 Karametra Life Harvester, 3 Arasta's Handmaiden, and 1 Hungry Blob. Playing because I'm trying to increase the number of Toho arts in the format. Ricky, you're playing because this is one of the last tournaments we have Grand Continents for, and then you rotate out of the format. I really hope you don't actually rotate out of the format. I hope something else comes along that captures your love, because I would be sad to see you stop engaging with the format. But I do understand that if you can't consonants, you don't want to play. I will be sad about it, but I will accept it. And I'll just be appreciative for the few months that we still have you. MSM is your main format anyways. Yeah, I know. But it's still nice to have you around here as well. Even if that means sometimes you absolutely smoke some people out of a tournament. With your ol' standby. Karametra's Judgment on a 2 of, 4 Harmony with Nature, which 10 enchantments here plus Star-Studded Sagittar, the Blessings from Reaper Fields and Seeker of New Horizons. Kaineos finds enchantments. Karametra is an enchantment. Arasta's Handmaiden is... Yeah, this is going to just be online always. Oh, yeah. MSEM is the other custom format. Stands for Magic Set Editor Modern. Is a non-rotating format curated by another group of passionate players and designers. Phenomenal format as well. Unlike the Custom Magic Discord, which is the gateway to not only custom Magic design, but also a gateway to being able to engage with the Revolution community. Magic Set Editor Modern, MSEM, has its own whole Discord server, and I'm sure maybe I can grab it for you right now. Actually, can I grab the link? Do I have an easy link on hand? Let's see. Can I find? Trying to find a good link, but it's not actually in the Welcome Mat channel on MSEM. Dang. DM'd it to me? Okay, thank you, Panders. Alrighty, got that in the chat for you. Catching up on chat. Can think a bit about it like Rev being the standard alike format and MSEM being the modern alike. Yeah, that's a great comparison. If you haven't joined the Discord, you for sure should, so you can check out the format properly. I only just got in. What's the major deck themes looking like? Fully agree, Jack. Nebula, the primary things going around, there's a lot of control, a lot of like grindy control, and a lot of mid-range. We've seen like one true aggro deck, two, yeah, Toasty's totally on a bats deck. This name, hold on. Oh, maybe not. That's Scuttling Cicada there. Oh, well, there's some bats, but this is, oh my god, Chittering Gargantua! Oh, I can't wait to get to Toasty's deck. I can't wait to get to Toasty's deck. Bless you, Toasty. Yeah, a lot of diversity of options in the field. Nothing that I've seen more than 3 of. I don't think I've seen many 3 ofs anyways, though. I think it's been a lot of 2 ofs and 1 ofs. Bats and insect is pretty cool. So Harmony with Nature, as well as 1 Planned Obsolescence, 2 Sealway, 2 Gone Pickin', and 1 Fall of Tracks. 4 full Buried Colossus and 4 Primal Fisher with 16 basics. Potty has 1 Blob main, 3 Blob side, which is neat. Last time I played Standard anything was black-green mid-range combo back in Bloomburrow. Oh, yeah, yeah. In Innkeeper's Talent with Vraska, right? Yeah, I don't think we have anything that level of powerful. Not now that berries has been nerfed out of existence. Sideboards, the other three hungry blobs. I do like the one hungry blob in main. I think this is such an important card to have available to you. Don't love that there's like no way to find it, so you're just gonna like kind of have to hope that you draw the one copy. But all right. Four Psyhawk, one Karametra's Judgment, and the side, one more Planned Obsolescence in the side, two Sealaways, one Fall of Tracks, three Sensor Tablets. One concern I have about Planned Obsolescence, and this is something that I learned after an observation after playing with it for a little bit, I kept mistaking this as greater or equal to, or like equal to or greater than the mana value of the enchanted permanent. And I was wrong. So I kept thinking of Planned Obsolescence as like, oh, you know, you enchant like a 0 mana token artifact, or you just like you enchant a token and you kill it, which you do, but you can't enchant a 1-drop and have it die to Planned Obsolescence. Yeah, so you do need to make it obsolete. And the highest mana value you can go to is 5. So Planned Obsolescence kills something that costs 4 or less. But realistically, you can get up to 3. So it's really killing something that costs 1 or 2. Which is a little awkward. But you do have a good number of 3s, at least. So Toasty is on blue-black Chitterbats. I love this. I love this so much. I haven't even really looked through the deck, but I love this. I appreciate so many people being on Fester Defluvium as well. This card is just so cool. So we are on 18 lands, 2 swamps, 2 islands, 4 Temple of Origins, 4 Primal Fissure, 4 Cityscape, 2 Hollow Chamber. Good lord, 8 fetches, 4 basics. Toasty, are you okay? Is someone holding you hostage? You can play more basics, please. Oh god. The 8 fetch virus is infecting everybody. Gonna try and build something mid-rangey. I have got a pretty cool mid-range deck, though I'm a little worried about some of the control decks that are in the field. We'll get to it, but it's gonna be closer to the bottom of the list. So 4 Scuttling Cicada, 4 Eager Scavenger, 2 Arduous Miners, 11 Relentless Bats, 4 Chittering Gargantua. I was cooking something that was dangerously close to what this was before it morphed into what I ended up registering. I'm staring at you and doubting a little bit, Stasis, but I trust you to be at least decently responsible. You're also not on 4 Cityscape? Wait, how are you on 8 fetches if you're not on 4 Cityscape? What? Okay, we're gonna get there. 4 All That Remains, 2 Festered Fluvium, 4 Phoenix's Judgment, 3 Traumatic Recollection, 4 Laystone of Ruins. Don't you smile at me. Are you playing the artifact land fetch? Are you playing Warpway Rings? Oh god, diss track in the sideboard again. Oh, Evolving Wild Rep, true. 3 Drown in Sorrow. I don't like that in this deck, because it just kills everything in your deck besides Chittering Gargantua. When are you boarding this in without it hurting you? 4 Soul Guide Lantern, and 4 Serrated Fossils. Serrated Fossils, hot. Dasvi is on Gruul Good Stuff. This is PTM's Gruul ramp deck. 4 Speculative Stockbroker, 4 Sunsoaker, 4 Estrathian Gentrifiers, 3 Yen's Slopeskidder. Sideboard out all the bats. Fair enough. Someone could actually be Warpway Rings, Terramorphic Expanse, Primal Fissure, and then Evolving Wilds. Yeah. Also the Cicadas and also the Miners, yeah. This is your game 1 matchup, Dasvi. Well, I believe PTM was absolutely cooking with this deck, so good luck, Panders. The 3 Yen Slopeskidder, 3 Ardor, 4 Front of Freedom, 2 Warden of Tremors, 2 Hoenn Champion, 3 Crux Chainer of Titans, 3 Light Vein Arrows, 2 Terminal Impacts, and 4 Abominable Avalanche. This deals so much damage. Holy cow. This is very, very stompy. 26 lands between 3 Cityscape, 4 Temple of Abandon, 3 Nessian Woods, 5 of each basic, 4 Temple of Origins, and 2 Neglected Slums. No Fissures. Interesting. It's okay, you'll just steal Warden and Hoenn Champion. Please. You can play games without stealing the person's 2 best win cons. I promise. Sideboard is 1 whole Thunderous Avalanche, 2 Molten Erosions, 2 Worm Shots, 1 Terminal Impact, 3 Disestablishmentarianism, 3 Crumbling Tower, 2 Soul Guide Lantern, and 1 Time Worn Crags. Yeah, God, Abominable Avalanche is just one of the coolest cards in the format and one of the strongest ones kicking around right now. I struggle to bring myself to want to play red-green, but anytime I feel the urge even remotely close, this is one of the first cards I look at. Provocative is addicted to Seeker of New Horizons. I believe this is my round 1 opponent. Wait, is it? Hold on. Am I seriously just playing Prov round 1 again? Why am I always against Prov round 1? What is happening? 1 Sky Pillar. Interesting. Never activating that second ability, only ever using it for colorless mana or to put a counter on a creature. That's kind of sweet, though. Prov didn't end up in your red-green list. They asked you to DM them it. Content Creator Showdown. Yeah, oh no. Not the Content Creator Showdown. 4 Seeker, 4 Anarchist, 3 Skittertiller, 4 Growing Gecko, 2 Zeno, 4 Skull and Nyx Weaver, 4 Grassroots Campaigners, 3 Yens, 3 Nessian Scout Captain. Oh god. Don't believe this was in the main last time. And 2 Vasilisa. Oh god, Prov's gone mid-range. That's a lot of dudes. 4 Journey Begins. So Journey actually has more misses this time around. Misses on Yens, Nessian, and Vasilisa. So that's 8 plus 4. It's 12. 11 realistically, because Journey's never going to hit itself. I feel like that's still a very solid Journey Begins selection. Please let me play against this deck. I'm so unbelievably teched against this deck. I feel like I'm favored this time around, whereas last time Prov was... people were hyping up Mono Green as being the berries killer, and I won. And so now that I've said that, I'm going to lose round 1 to Prov. Sideboard is 3 Hardy Rough Rider, 3 Ensconce, 3 Constrict, 4 Thunderous Avalanche, 2 Soul Guide Lantern. Oh my god, Constrict is hot. What is Constrict hitting against me? Oh god. Any tips on figuring out mid-range stuff? I basically always net decked given how little I get to play anything ranked. Figuring out mid-range stuff. Might be worth asking Rev General. Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, just poke into Rev General and ask for folks' input on mid-range stuff. I'm not coming up with anything off the top of my mind. But generally, folks in general have good input on that. Pander's getting cut off as they begin to explain. 2 Soul Guide Lantern, 4 Thunderous Avalanche. Sweet. I feel like I'm more favored than I was last time I had to fight Prov round 1, but this is still a scary matchup. Cajuns, Amber Friends Mark II. With no Amber this time. Or sorry, no Karina in the main this time. Hey, they're on AA aggro. Not AA aggro, just A aggro. Temperamental chick. So this is the classic playing Electies and a bunch of good cards that just murder people with Electies deck. So 3 Milan, 4 Calamity Cat, 3 Clay's Shield of Karda, 4 Amber Nimble Companion, 4 Mimicry Elemental, 4 Temperamental Chick, 2 Conscious Coordinator, 3 Electies First King of Akros, 4 Jericho Ageless Wanderer. We've gone from 5 control decks at the start to literally only just aggro. Yeah, I want to go back. I see Zangi's next, so we're gonna go back. 4 Magma Flow, 2 Crumbling Tower, 4 Primal Fisher, 4 Temple of Origins, 13 Mountains, 2 Plains. Interesting, no Titan Stairs in the main. I feel like Titan Stairs is just such a shoo-in for this deck, but I guess you just really don't want tapped lands on one. Sideboard is 4 Psyhawk, 3 Crux, 2 Karina, 3 Scatter the Signal, and 3 Soul Guide Lantern. I'm going to be honest. I know Cajun really wants to win with Karina. I don't see it. I'm not sure how Karina wins games. Clay's with Jericho is really hype. Oh my god, yeah, you uptick Clay's scry to put a loyalty counter on Jericho, exile Jericho, get more cards. Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I'm not sure what Karina is doing here. But I know that Cajun believes in Karina, and Cajun designed the set that Karina's in, so Cajun knows what I don't. Moving on to a deck we've already talked about twice. Benflow's Power. This is, I think, our first deck we've had 3 of. I'm not surprised. We've got Benflos of Land and Sea, Shangfa, Tyranny of Tracks, To the Last Breath. 3 creatures decks. Nature's Healing. True. Welcome in Volt Switch. Or is it Volt Switch or Volt Witch? Hold on. Have I Mandela affected myself? Just gonna turn off stream mode real quick. It is Volt Switch. Okay. You can tell who used my deck list because it has To the Last Breath for the Zangoose representation. 3 people just copy and pasted the white blue Drago deck. Wild. Yeah. I mean, people just know that like a Zangy deck is gonna do pretty well. And hey, to be fair, Zangy, this card is pretty good. I was nervous that you'd have it against me in our GP match, and I was too nervous, and I lost. People love running white blue and hate building white blue. That's correct. Lit is on Breach combo in my Rev. What is happening here? Sorry? Oh, this is Breaching Jaxel. Lit is cooking as usual. 4 Lost Collar of the Sea. Yeah, that does cost reduce Breaching Jaxel. Oh my god, Cryptolab can be used to recast Breaching Jaxel? Just took my Explorer deck and swapped out the cards. Oh my god. So 4 Lost Collar of the Sea, 1 Mystery Egg, 4 Gubernatorial Fundraiser, 2 Pensive Caldera, 4 Elronton Visionary, 4 Breaching Jaxel, 1 Jericho, 4 Ozon's Blessing, 4 Get Your Wish. What? 1 Journey Begins, 1 Terminal Impact, 2 Sifting Through Soot, 1 Awakening in Uldun. Wait, sorry, Sifting? What is Sifting doing here? How are you getting extra, like, can you get extra land drops? Like, you're not flickering lands, right? Unwholesome Lost Color of the Sea. Let's be honest, this is not a card that can be played wholesomely. It's a 1-mana cost reducer. I mean, the Awakening, Singleton Awakening can win the game. Otherwise, Terminal Impact can win the game. Once you hit... if you can hit Breaching Jaxel and Elronton Visionary, you can just win. Because you make infinite mana with Breaching Jaxel, cost reduced into Cryptolab or Digital Lotus, and then you can Elronton Visionary until you hit Awakening in Uldun. Or Get Your Wish searches for Terminal Impact or Awakening, yeah. Just up the density of press the button and win. And between Sifting Through Soot and all of the like the blue 1-drop, the red 2-drop, the red 2-drop here, the green 3-drop, blue 5-drop, like it's pretty reasonable to, and especially with Gubernatorial Fundraiser putting a pledge into play, like it's pretty safe to assume that you'll be able... Oh wait, no. Pledge won't matter for Get Your Wish. Lid has a combo problem, and I don't think it's actually a problem. I think Lid just likes playing combo, and I respect the hell out of that, because I do too. I'm just not as confident in cooking as Lid is. Or more accurately, I'm not as good at cooking as Lid is. 8 fetches, 2 forests, 3 mountains, 1 swamp, 2 islands, 4 light veins. Sideboard is 3 Whitecliff Pilgrims, 2 Spikies, 4 Forget Their Names Again, 4 Invasions End, and 2 more Sifting Through Soot. Ricky, on. Ricky, buddy, you gotta... It's not 4-color consonants. It's Sabs and consonants. This is 2 GPs now, Ricky. You gotta pass because you kick everybody's butt with this deck. Um, 4 of each Sagitar and Sunsoaker and All-Around Visionary, as well as 3 Unflinching Titans, 4 Archon of Condemnations, and 2 Skotha Titan of Eternal Dark. The red is there in spirit. That's true. 2 Sinido Voidsinger, 2 Vasilisa Helping Hand, 1 Czar of the Eternal Cycle, 1 Illustrious Shengfa, 4 Grand Consonants, 4 Gone Pickin'. Lands are 3 Plains, 4 Forest, 4 Swamp, 4 Cityscape, 4 Light Vein, 1 Buried Colossus, 4 Primal Fisher, and 2 Sky Pillar. Sideboard is 2 Club Promoters, 3 Hungry Blobs, 3 Names, 2 Bring the House Down, 3 Hostage Situation, my goodness, and 2 Soul Guide Lanterns. Classic good Consonants deck. Consonants is just always the old reliable. I had a feeling people would be bringing Consonants besides just Ricky, just because I feel like you'll look at the GP results, you'll look at the fact that the second place deck last month got no changes, and logic dictates somebody's got to bring it besides Ricky. I have a funny feeling I'm going to be wrong, though, and Ricky is the only Consonants player once again. Eventually, Ricky will convince other people that this card is good. Ricky's convinced me. I just want to play things that aren't consonants. And I guess that's where a lot of people sit, huh? Itai is teaching Basillo to fly. Oh, Lord. We are on green, white? What is happening here? Don't think a lot of people like the strat. Yeah, that's fair. We are on green, white, mid-range, or green, white, stompy? Definitely stompy over mid-range. 4 Seeker of New Horizons, 3 Melon, 3 Aspiring Anarchist, 4 Genotype Splicer. More people played Consonants before BLR rotated. That's fair. Yeah, BLR had some of the better things to really hit off of Consonants, I think. 4 Overbearing Researcher, 2 Afara's Messenger, 4 Basillo Lion of Valor, 3 Stratus Fledgling, 1 Looming Psyhawk, 3 Yen Slopeskidder. I mean, yeah. I don't know how good of a Basillo deck this is, but I guess, you make an enchantment off of Milan. Afara's Messenger just is an enchantment. You get enchantments off of Stratus Fledgling. What are the weathers here? That's worth checking. Clear Skies, Pollen Warning, and Diamond Dust. Okay. I feel like Clear Skies and Diamond Dust are a little awkward, but, it's pretty reasonable. Pollen Warning is just if you need another body. Clear Skies if you're on board and you're able to attack immediately. Diamond Dust is just, if you can start getting to the late game. Green-White Cliques of Nylon Tribal. This deck is really strong if you don't kill them quickly. I like Consonants a lot, but I have to be a unique snowflake, i.e. if Ricky's playing it every month, I will not be. Fair enough. Temple of Origins, Primal Fisher, Cityscape, Plains and Forests, as well as 1 more Psyhawk in the board, 3 Hungry Blobs in the board, 2 Survivors of the New World, 1 Clear Skies, Pollen Warning, and Diamond Dust, 1 Gone Pickin' to go with the 2 in main, 2 Distributive Justice, I always love to see, and 3 Soul Guide Lanterns. Hey, PTM decided to play Activated Ability Aggro, and Karina in the main? Wild. Again, I don't quite get it, but okay. Itai wanted to find a home for Genotype, found out Basillo works great with that. Fair enough, yeah. Basillo loves having any way to make it able to get in for combat more seamlessly, and just teaching this thing flying seems great, yeah. I haven't been super impressed with Genotype Splicer in my attempts to play with it, but that being said, I think the reasons I ran into issues with Genotype Splicer went beyond it as a card and went more into I don't know how to build the counter deck. So, interested to see how this performs. Yet another tournament where I'm going in here and I'm just like, yeah, I'm excited to see Itai win some games. Uh, uh, Calamity Cat Melon, Contest Coordinator Amber, Dormant Camel, and Electes, as well as Jericho, Karina, Light Vein Arrow, Igneous Visions, and Magma Flow. No Crumbling Tower main. Karina over Crumbling Tower in the main deck. Interesting. I guess the like uptick discard you made, you draw and each opponent may draw a card to let you draw another, has just been like proven to be really good. He took out the shocks. The list that I got from them, they weren't, or the list that they put in deck lists, I don't believe they were playing shocks. I think we had this conversation before. Panders. Because they were on Light Vein Arrow, they were on 3 Light Vein Arrow and 4 Magma Flow and no other burn spells. I think, yeah, Panders, I think we had this exact conversation a few hours ago in DMs. Anyways, 4 Temple of Origins, 4 Primal Fissure, 3 Titan Stairs, 5 Plains, 6 Mountains. 2 Satyr Arsonist in the sideboard is sweet. Little scary, but sweet. 1 Karina in the sideboard, 3 Crux in the board, 2 Molten Erosion, 2 Terminal Impact, 3 Crumbling Tower, 2 Soul Guide Lantern. Silver is on red-green? Oh, yeah, this is PTM's ramp deck. Was Karina maybe an anti-aggro check to win the mirror, i.e. Lifelink and Amber or Electes just to just fold other aggro? I mean, maybe like Lifelink Electes. Amber can natively gain Lifelink, but I mean, I guess you probably want to get like Vigilance and First Strike before you gain Lifelink. Vigilance, First Strike, maybe even Menace before Lifelink. But I feel like, you know, maybe you're just like upticking on Dormant Camel and Electes. I feel like there's also just validity to uptick just discard lands to draw cards, and if your opponent wants to draw, then you get to draw 2. I don't know though. I'm not sold on Karina. We'll see how Karina performs. Maybe it is a good anti-aggro card because it does also give Vigilance. So maybe that is it. Maybe it is just an anti-aggro piece, and PTM is on Karina in the main over where Cajun is at, where I believe Karina was just in the board. Your round 1 matchup is next? Next after Silver. Yeah, so Silver is on the red-green ramp deck, going up to Jens Ardor, Warden of Tremors, and Hoenn Champion. Deck seems sweet. We have talked about it already. We'll save time because there are 33 decks to get through. Although I guess we're already over halfway there. We've also been at this for an hour. Magma Dragon is on Squall Blue Seas, Opaleye Caretaker, Whitecliff Pilgrim, Squall Runner Duo, Synod of Sanctions. Sorry, my brain always goes to Synod, but I know it's Synod. Renowned Rough Rider Stratus Fledgling. Interesting. So we are trying to just kind of like spam cheap creatures with enter triggers. 4 copies of Brewing Storm. Counter target spells unless the controller pays X. Return target non-land permanent with mana value X or less to its owner's hand, and you can do both if you have a weather. 4 Social Engineering. 4 No Time to Waste, even after the nerf. Interesting. Oh, you know, I guess No Time to Waste Social Engineering does get around the downside of No Time to Waste, that it's now much worse with flickers. Because you can just No Time to Waste, steal a creature for 3, next turn attack with it, and then Social Engineering it to put it back into its owner's hand, and then you get a token copy of it. That's kind of sweet. Dislike the only instant speed card is the counterspell. Very easy to play around, but I love Whitecliff Pilgrim, especially given the name of the GP. Yeah, I fully agree. I'm just happy to see Whitecliff Pilgrim played. I keep wanting to figure out how to make this card really pop as well. I'm still convinced that there's something to do with Selective Truth Seeker making Whitecliff Pilgrim really, really but I will see where that goes. Cityscape, Fisher, Temple, Plains, and Islands. Sideboard is 3 Psyhawks, 2 Invasions End, 1 Seabreeze, 3 Fall of Tracks, 1 Rain Dance, 2 Primordial Seas, and Soul Guide Lanterns. Oh, I see. So if I understand correctly, the game plan is going to be, we're doing like white, blue, like decently aggro mid-rangey things with just like disruptive spells and things that can just start chipping away at opponents. Deck should also 100,000% be on Nomad's Companion. Probably the best thing to be doing with Pilgrim. RGB's names based on locations from the sets. Yep, that is the case. It's planned out to my knowledge. But yeah, so like you can do the like fair game, and you can Stratus Fledgling for a 1-mana Sea Breeze or a 3-mana Rain Dance, but you could also just fledgling for Primordial Seas, then fledgling for the other Primordial Seas, and try to go like Seas, then Seas again. Second Seas copies the first, and you just make infinite Primordial Seas. And then how do you win if you make infinite Primordial Seas? There's something going on there. Also, just infinite of any creature. You could steal people stuff with no time. Oh yeah, you can steal people stuff with no time to waste, but then here's the thing. I don't think this makes infinite creatures because here's the thing. Like, you Primordial Seas, you make infinite Primordial Seas, then you have to stop the loop by making a copy of, like, say, a land that you control. Then you need to cast a spell. Primordial Seas all trigger. You make infinite copies of that land that you control. Then you get the like no time to waste to resolve, but then you need to cast another spell. I don't know. I feel like the Primordial Seas plan is just like you can steal then copy. Yeah, I know, but 7 mana, Panders. I don't know if 7 mana is worth it to go like steal something with no time to waste, then copy the thing you stole. I'm gonna level with you. I feel like that's cooking a little too close to the sun. That being said, if any card's gonna make Primordial Seas castable, it's gonna be Stratus Fledgling, and I know Magma Dragon has been fighting very hard to make Primordial Seas work, and I would love to see them succeed. Marking this down as white blue tempo, I think that's like decently reasonable. Like, Synod of Sanctions does the like tempo-y thing. It's a creature that removes a creature and makes the opponent have to pay more mana to get the creature back. It's just kills tokens, which is great. I do love Synod of Sanctions. It's always great to see this around. Message retracted. Zangy, what did you say? Can I see what you said? How do I see what you said? Oh, you typoed here rather than Rev General. Oh, I see. Anyways, Epid's hoping to pop off. Star-studded Sagittar, Sunsoaker. Oh my gosh! Ricky, you're not the only consonants player! Epid's playing your deck from last month! Ricky, you're not alone! Well, this is great. And I am on the record saying I think this deck is very good. The consonants infection has spread. Yeah, I'm on the record for saying I think this deck is just good. Really thought others were going to be on my deck, but somehow not a single person has even come close. I haven't seen what your deck is yet, so we'll see. But yeah, cheers. 2 consonants players. When's the last time that happened? 8 squids on blue-black control, with blind Keela, cutthroat Keela. Pay no attention to my deck name. I feel like this happens every time. They did not make the changes that I made, but to be fair, I made the changes 2 hours before the GP. Yeah, it looks like it's just your list from last month. 4 blind Keela, 4 cutthroat Keela. Or sorry, cutthroat Kaluka. I don't think I've seen this card before. Or at least I haven't seen it played. 4 Ebb and Flow, 3 Thassa's Caress, 4 Maim, 4 Refract, 4 Travel Through the Mystic Sea. Devotion to Blue is 3 or greater. And you have 14 permanents. Coveted Peacocks, Coveted Peacocks, Coveted Peacock. Listen, in my defense, part of why I do this is because I notice when the GP archive becomes when the tournament gets GP archived, the names get taken off of a lot of the decks, which makes going back through it and like clicking on this tab to see the deck lists very difficult to know who played what. So this is why I do this to myself. Blue-black fish deck, actual fish, not merfolk. Aurora's Appetite, Voyage to the Siren Sea, Omen of Deception. Aurora's Appetite is my least favorite card to play against as a mid-range player. I always end up getting curved out, counterspelled into like a 5/5 Aurora and then a follow-up counterspell. That might be something you should bring up with Cage and TBH. Yeah, probably. I will say, Voyage to the Siren Sea is really cool to see here. We'll get to my deck in a moment, and I'll do like an abridged version of my deck tech. But when my deck was skewing towards like Sultai Graveyard Stompy, I briefly entertained like Voyage to the Siren Sea as like something I'm perfectly fine milling over or discarding or surveilling into the bin, and then I can just like turn a bunch of things sideways, hit my opponent for a bunch, and then pay blue and draw 3 cards from my graveyard. I do remember when this just won the game with Builder. Oh, wait, are you on Builder? You're probably on Builder, right? We'll see. We're almost to you. 4 Temple, 2 Ephemeral Mire, 4 Primal Fisher, 3 Cityscape, 6 Island, 4 Swamp. Sideboard is 4 Agent, 3 Lurking for Colossus, 2 Oracle of Zakros, 3 Agonizing Remorse, 3 Omen. Wait, Fair Oracle? Rad. All right, we've arrived at my deck. So, I am on the rock. I am on black-green mid-range. The last time I played a deck and called it the rock, it was more aggro slanted. To be fair, I think this deck is very grindy. And I think this deck is deserving of the name. You really want to play me? I'm scared. Yeah, I went this way, Panders. So there is a long story behind this deck, but the brief version of it was I originally started off trying to build a deck with both Sporeback Jarga and Chittering Gargantua, and was trying to build it as like Sultai Tempo, trying to like slip somebody finally playing Morbid Bloomer. The card is correct. This card is the champion. This card is so good. I will also go on record here. This card, Sporeback Jarga, is real. I don't know if people played it in prior GPs. I'll have to go through like GPs from when Olden first came out up to now. But like, just going through deck lists real quick. No results in deck lists. So I can't help but wonder, are people just like sleeping on Sporeback Jarga? Because like this is, if you're on a like very permanent dense deck, this is just Delve. This is Delve with upside. 5/5 Death Toucher is stunningly good because it blocks really well, and it attacks really well. You prefer spiky and didn't want a high density. Here's one of actually my thinkings here. I like Jarga more than Spiky right now, and part of why is because I think 3-mana burn spell. I was anticipating 3-mana burn spells being very relevant and very prevalent, and Spiky dies to those very, very easily. And I was also anticipating some number of coup d'etats to show up in the format, and Spiky also dies to that very easily. Sporeback Jarga doesn't. Sporeback Jarga is really, really hard to remove. Um, and one of the things that I really like about Sporeback Jarga, it is very good as a 2-mana 5/5. It's also very good as a 5-mana 5/5. Like, I'm on 4 root fossils. It is very feasible that I can just play this as a 5-mana 5/5, exile a Sporeback Jarga from my graveyard, and go exile this, or I get or I get another one when you kill it. Like, have fun punching through a Jarga that draws me a Jarga. Yeah, you're. I don't think you're the only coup d'etat deck we've seen so far. Are you? Hold on. Yeah, no, Cool Beans is on coup d'etat. And then that is past me. Yeah, so you're one of 3 people on coup d'etat. Everyone's saying coup is really good, and then almost nobody playing coup. Hey, 1 out of 11 decks playing coup d'etat is not nothing in a field of 33. Especially when so many people are on so many disparate strategies. But yeah, so this is black-green mid-range, skewing slower. I did a little deception earlier in chat. I asked 2 important questions about Jack Monster Mentor. I asked if he saw his own trigger, if he sees himself go to the graveyard from the battlefield and drains your opponent for 1. And I asked if he sees Scrap Weight kill a 1/1 as 2 separate instances of a permanent going to a graveyard. I deceived you. I'm on Pull of Tizerus. I'm not on Scrap Weight, I'm on Pull of Tizerus. A little bit of deception. It didn't really matter, but I felt like maintaining some secrecy while asking about Jack was at least somewhat important. Sorry for the betrayal. But yeah, I love the confirmation that not only does Jack work how I expected it to, how I hoped he would when seeing himself go to the graveyard, but he also works better than I thought with Pull of Tizer. It's just really great. Like, I was kind of mediocre on Jack. I was a little like concerned about how he would feel when I first started trying him out in the deck. And as I pushed the deck, you formed your entire deck around being invulnerable to Scrap Weight. I win. But yeah, I was nervous about Jack when I first started putting it in the deck, and when the deck was more of a stompy plan, it wasn't very good in the deck. But as the deck started to skew towards more mid-rangey control, Jack started to go from feeling like just kind of whatever to feeling amazing. And I can't say with certainty, because we haven't seen every deck, I might be the only person on Time Worn Crags. And my big reason for wanting to be on Time Worn Crags, scrolling up to PTM real quick, I can't beat this card otherwise. Titan Stairs kills me in the face of Time Worn Crags. Without Time Worn Crags, rather. This is a live Scrap Weight is really good against your deck. Oh, I see. Well, bummer that I'm on Politizerus instead of Scrap Weight, but then again, I'm only on 4 root fossils and no other artifacts, so could only do so much with Scrap Weight. So yeah, just going through quickly, I'm on 4 Morbid Bloomer, 2 Spiky, 3 Inner Rings Pupil, 3 Sporeback Jarga, 3 Jack Monster Mentor, 2 Czar of the Eternal Cycle, 2 Chronicle of Extinction, 3 Phoenix's Touch, 4 Pull of Tizerus, 4 Omen of Slaughter, 2 Path of Phoenix, 4 Root Fossil. Fully agree, Volt Switch. Titan Stairs gives me PTSD too. I have lost I have lost very important games to Titan Stairs. I want to say it was what took me out of top cut contention in the September GP. You have thoughts on this deck? I will I'm concerned to hear your thoughts, but I'm optimistic about this deck. In playtesting it, I think primarily that Kaineos is busted and you should splash white for it. I think Kaineos is great. I don't think this is a good Kaineos deck. I think one of the reasons why I shaved blue in general was I wanted to just kind of hone in on good mana base and really hone in on like what the deck is looking to do, which is to say, I am trying to do graveyard recursion across creatures, that are just really irritating for my opponent to deal with. Morbid Bloomer, obviously, picking stuff up out of the graveyard. Spiky, constantly being recast from the graveyard. Sporeback Jarga, able to get stuff back from the graveyard. And then beyond that, it is resource removal and resource like trying to strip resources away from the opponent. So 3 Inner Rings people really good at that. Chronicle of Extinction very good at that. Phoenix's Touch, Pull of Tyzerus, Ona Slaughter, Path of Phoenix all very good at that. Black green plants and fungi, yeah, fungus plant, plant, and then some good old pupils. Pupil is evil. In playtesting this deck, it is very, very feasible to just like slam Inner Rings Pupil and deal 7 to the opponent. Like with the like Chronicle of Extinction being able to have the hand attack mode, Phoenix's Touches, Path of Phoenix, all shredding the opponent's hand, and then we've got Omen of Slaughter, Pull of Tyzerus, Chronicle on removal mode, Jack on Edict mode, like decent chance we can take out creatures on the board, and then Inner Rings Pupil just comes down and domes someone for 7. This deck looks amazing in the control decks, and so naturally I'm against Green Stompy. Again. I'm a little nervous about that matchup, but I did bring some cards for the aggro matchup. Gonna Stolen Secrets or Chronicle so you can't chronicle me. No, Panders, please. My mana base is 2 Cityscape, 3 Primal Fissure, 4 Forest, 7 Swamp, 2 Miasmic Cove, 4 Temple of Origins, 2 Time-Worn Crags. Just draw 4 copies of Omen of Slaughter. Yeah, that's true. I just need to draw all of my Pulls of Tyzerus, all of my Omens of Slaughter, and I need to be on the play. Sideboard is 3 Hungry Blob, 2 Hardy Rough Rider, 3 Final Fate, 2 Forget Their Names, 2 Chronicle of Extinction, and 3 Disestablishmentarianism. Brief synopsis of my sentiments on this sideboard. I looked at Soul Guide Lantern for a long time, but I kind of decided I wanted my sideboard tech to be skewed in such a way that everything had uses beyond just like being a silver bullet. And with that in mind, rather than having to lean on Soul Guide Lantern as like, oh shit, I really need to get stuff out of graveyard, I chose Forget Their Names and Chronicle of Extinction, both Chronicle as a 2 of to go up to the full 4. Did you try Nut? Really like its curve with Root Fossil and Phoenix's Touch. I did not try Tough Nut. I ultimately was just kind of like not super interested in Tough Nut for this particular build, but it probably could have been the right call. I just did so much deck building with so much playtesting with so many different cards that I kept pulling in and out of the deck, and I think this 75 is really tight as it is, so I'm not sure what I would cut to put Nut into the deck. But I do think it's interesting. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like a rock card. I think if I were skewing towards like the Sultai Graveyard Stompy deck, maybe I could see Tough Nut being really good, because that was a deck that was like, what does rock mean anyways? Just a moment. The Rock is a deck which has been less defined by the cards it uses and more by the strategy it employs. In general, it is a black-green aggro control deck which attempts to generate card advantage over longer periods of time and finish the opponent off with a big creature. Courtesy of the MTG Wiki. Comes from Dwayne The Rock Johnson and his millions. Phyrexian Plague Lord and Deranged Hermit. Yeah, Plague Lord and Deranged Hermit's a great shout. God, imagine if we had something like that right now. Plague Lord was the Rock. Yeah. I wanted to have a sideboard that was angled towards not just leaning on singular silver bullets. So I went for the full set of Chronicle of Extinctions between 2 main, 2 sideboard, as well as to Forget Their Names to pick off things that I really that like if I can get rid of one, I really don't want to have to see the second. So like I genuinely might board this in against activated ability aggro just to like if I can take out one Amber or one Electes, get them out of here. Be gone. Never draw a second. I refuse to let you. Like that kind of plan. This deck is sweet. I don't know how it will play into Forget Their Names, but you have a density of threats that'll be that might not hurt you too hard. Yeah, I think I might be favored against Forget Their Names. I think being able to sideboard in my Forget Their Names against a deck boarding in their own is very funny. But yeah, just like the fact that I can play, Root Fossil out of the bin. Jack can eventually just bury people in value. Like Jack does just kill people over time. Same with Czar. And like all my creatures kill you over time, and all threaten graveyard value. So not only do they all threaten being worth hitting with Forget Their Names, but also you want to forget their names, random things in my bin so I can't get them back with Morbid Bloomer or Inner Ring's Pupil or Sporeback Jarga. So it gets really awkward really fast. And like, I guess you could forget their names one of my 2 Cityscapes or 3 Primal Fissures to stop me from like using them with Spiky or Jarga, but that's not very good. You could forget their names one of my 2 Time Worn Crags to take 1 card out of my deck. If they're spending mana and a card not putting pressure on me and not accruing card advantage, I'm very happy. Yeah. I think forget their names is really awkward against me. I like the most suspect card in my sideboard is Hardy Rough Rider, just because I think I'm not a dense enough a number of creatures for this to be gaining me life when it leaves ever. This was really just like, God, there's only so many things that gain you life and are also a creature in black-green right now. And I did not want to be like, oh, my aggro plane is Lurking Verkalakis. You know, that card that wants to attack every turn. So... Hardy Rough Rider is good in exactly bulk. I think Rough Rider's fine here, but like the situation with Rough Rider in playtesting with this card was like, yeah, it's very feasible that I just spend my turn wandering this to give it vigilance and gain some life. Of which we have 0 bulk decks. Listen, Stasis, if you want to see people playing bulk bioengineering, and you're not playing bulk bioengineering, I think I know the problem. Anyways, moving on, because we do have other decks to talk about, and I have a whole deck tech talking about my deck and why I chose to build it the way that I did. Split Moons, the other Coco. Leave it to Split to be playing white-black integrate. Contest Coordinator, Data Weaver, which is a whiff off of Contest Coordinator. Malicious Skycleaver is not, though. Sanaito and Shangfa, Dissect Intel, Chronicle of Extinction, Bring the House Down, Earthly Penchants, and Ley Shard. With 2 Gates to the Underworld, 9 Plains, 9 Swamps, 4 Temples. So Contest Coordinator count real quick. 3 Skycleaver, 9 Plains is 12. Plus 6 for the Planeswalkers is 18. Plus 4 Bring the House Down is 22. Plus 4 Ley Shard is 26. I think this is reasonable enough Contest Coordinator count. 12 cards that integrate. Just a little scary. It's very similar to what I've been doing with white-black colorless control. Because like my white-black colorless control deck has been like Contest Coordinator can hit Malicious Skycleaver, can hit Sanaito or Shangfa, can hit Bring the House Down. Decent solid plan. Sideboard is 4 Psyhawk, 1 more Skycleaver, 2 Shangfa, 3 Gentle Grasp, 1 more Chronicle of Extinction, and 4 whole Soul Guide Lanterns. It is remarkably similar to my white-black control. There's a lot of differences. Like, I'm not on Chronicle in that deck, though maybe I should be. I'm not on Dissect Intel. I'm not on Earthly Penchants. I'm not on Data Weaver. I'm just not on the Integrate package. I'm way lower on Skycleaver, and I'm not on Ley Shard. So there's some similarities, but it's the similarities of, like, we're both white-black decks with some Planeswalkers in them and Contest Coordinator. And we both identified that Coordinator for Skycleaver and Bring the House Down is pretty solid. Essentially, Coordinator for a Planeswalker or a board wipe. Pretty good. The Zivs will be missed, but consistency and Chronicle will likely be good. Yeah, I think one thing that's really awkward is like Temple of Origins is not bad with Ziv. Just colorless decks in general don't mind Temple of Origins because it's not going to stop you from making colorless mana. So I feel like you could get away with colorless decks wanting to be on Temple of Origins and like be like 2-color colorless decks. I don't know. Tomas is on It's Time to Swine, hopefully better than last GP. We are on Mardu Yeji with 3 Calamity Cat, 4 Ignited Soul, 4 Scattering Swine, 2 Pressuring Ghoul, 4 Yeji Resplendent Idol, and 2 Data Weaver. 3 Extraction Mission, 4 Magma Flow, 4 Phoenix's Touch, 4 Omen Slaughter, 3 Magma Flow, 4 Omen Slaughter, 2 Hostage Situation, and 2 Gone Pickin'. 3 Calm Battleground alongside 4 Primal Fissure, 5 Mountains, 6 Plains, and 5 Swamps. I'm not sure how I feel about the 6 Plains, given, like, the only time you want the white mana is turn 3. I just got whiplashed to 2 GPs ago. Oh, no Urban Explorer. I'm going to be honest, in my playtesting with Urban Explorer, every time I've put it in play, I've been a little disappointed by it. It is one of those cards where, like, my excitement and my hype for it was unparalleled, and every time I've played it since, it has always just been somewhere in the range of, oh, this is okay, to, oh, this is kind of bad. And it's really unfortunate. I really want Urban Explorer to be better than it is, but I always feel a little disappointed by it. You felt the exact opposite? Well, I'm glad you've had a better experience with that card than I have. Because I have had not great experience. Data Weaver is pretty gross with the AG still. Yeah, this is still pretty nasty. No Extraction Ritual, though. Because that is banned. Respect going data over it. 3 Virkalakis, 3 Looming Psyhawk, 2 Crux, 2 Scatter the Signal, 1 Forget Their Names, 2 Chronicle of Extinction, and 2 Gone Pickin'. All Who Wander. Yes! All Who Wanders on white, black, colorless control. And I can tell you right now, I am not responsible for this deck list, because there are some things I see here that I was not playing in my white-black colorless control deck. Case in point, we have 4 Contest Coordinator, 4 Yeji, 4 Urban Explorer, 4 Data Weaver. Good lord. Here is that Urban I disrespected, and in a deck that only has 8 non-land cards it can get back. Like, only 6 fetches. So we are on 3 Primal Fissure, 3 Real Up Cityscape, 4 Phoenix's Touch, 4 Planned Obsolescence. I don't think this is a good Urban Explorer deck, but we'll see how it plays. How are we feeling about the GP so far? Hey, Prav, we matched up against each other again for round 1. I don't know how this keeps happening. If we match up on round 1 next month, I am going to say something about it. Not that I don't want to play against you, because playing against you is such a fun test of skill, and you always have me on the back foot in such a tense way. But, like, dear lord, yeah, this GP is a mess of a pool. So many different decks. We'll buy lottery tickets together. Correct. That's how we win. That's how we game the system. 3 Sonido, 2 Ziv, 2 Shengfa, 4 Phoenix's Touch, 4 Plain Obsolescence, 4 Ominous Slaughter, 2 Sifting Through Soot. Mana base is 2 Core, 2 Mesa, 1 Gates, 2 Temples, 2 Wastes, 4 Plains, 4 Swamps, 3 Fissures, 3 Cityscapes, as well as 4 Psyhawks in the board, as well as 2 Maims, 3 Gone Pickins, 2 Top of the Charts, and 4 Soul Guide Lanterns. Viola's on the coin. Hey, Viola also did Viola's. It's not just me. See? The theory is there. The coin turned up on Prav's Dante list. Thank you, Prav, and sorry, Leh. Gubernatorial Fundraiser. Oh, I think this is it. This is 4-color Dragon Age. We're on 4-color Dragon Age. Viola's on Dragon Age. Hell yeah. So, 4 Gubernatorial Fundraiser and 2 Chief Executive Dante as the creatures, 4 copies of Iviana Dragon Tamer, 1 Veto, 4 Liquidate, 3 Get Your Wish, along with 4 Coup d'etat, 3 Abominable Avalanche, 3 Golden Age, 4 Shrine to Keranos, and 4 Sustainable Investments. Land base is 4 Nation Light Vein, 4 Cityscape, no copies of Fissure, 1 Hazak District, 1 Vishanti District, 4 forests, 3 mountains, 2 swamps, 2 islands, and 3 deep life caverns. Hell yeah. This is sweet. Sideboard is 2 malicious Sky Cleavers, 2 Chief Executive Dantes, 1 Warden of Skies, 3 Vetoes, 4 Noxious Conditions, 3 Sifting Through Soots. Noxious Conditions is such a sweet shout for a sustainable investments deck. Yeah. And then Iviana is down-ticking to get you another Dante, a Malicious Skycleaver, or the one of Warden of Skies, which is only castable off of 2 treasures. Which, I mean, granted, Iviana gets you 2 treasures. I guess not off of 2, because you only need 1 white mana, but still. And I guess theoretically, Light Vein could be your white source. Really feel like there should be that 1 red land destruction dragon, the 6 mana one in the sideboard. Yeah, I kind of see what you mean, but you know, don't want to dedicate too many sideboard slots to tech cards. I feel like maybe you could go to 1 Dante in the sideboard since you have 2 in the main and go for that in the board, but I don't know. We'll see how this performs. I'm excited for Viola. Dravos is on Stolen Sapphire Silently Sink. Surprise, suddenly surfacing. I remember Dravos going over this. I believe this is 1-to-1 Itai's winning deck. Yep. Favorite things that with Iviana out, Warden essentially has Ward 7. What? Oh my god, yeah. If you spend at least 5 mana to cast a spell targeting Warden of Skies, and then you have to spend 2 more to target it. Not just Warden, all of your permanents, all of your dragons have Ward 7, and all of your permanents have have effectively, like, your spells have to cost 5. God. Crazy. Trinisphere effects are not quite 7. Yeah, but still. The sentiment is there. Makes things cost 7 to target the dragons and 5 to target anything else. Yeah. Dravos, I think I'd made the sentiment of, like, Dravos was looking to play, if memory serves. I know somebody, it was Petra, and I believe Petra is Dravos. I'm just scrolling up a little bit. Yeah, Petra is Dravos. 1x Island, 1x Island, 1x Island. I believe that is... give me just a moment. That is not how the deck was formatted for Itai's build. Yeah, Petra is Dravos. Founder formats can't be countered plus hexproof card. But yeah, I think this deck is really good, even with the nerfs to Warden of Depths, Aqua Crew, and Harbor Mail. I think this deck is still really sweet. I am a huge fan of Avert Disaster. It was part of why I was rooting for Itai through all of Top Cut. Even after beating Itai in round 4 of the GP last month, I just knew, like, I got so lucky that game. Itai, what do you mean this looks amazing? It's what you built. Is that the joke? I don't know if it's a joke. I don't know you well enough. Okay, I'm assuming you're joking. Yeah, I think this deck is sweet. Obama awarding metal meme here. Yeah. Oh, someone's on a nut. Philippe's on a nut. Philippe is on Chronicles of Ramp. Oh my god, yeah. 8 Chronicle. Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to just, like, jam these Chronicles, Tough Nut is really good there. 2 Tough Nut, 4 Mana Harvesters, 3 Alrontan Visionary, 2 Scotha, 2 Vorpal. Oh, what? Huh? Good God, that's scary. No thank you. No thank you. Oh, lordy. Philippe. We have families. Oh, God. Vasilisa, Czar, All That Remains, 1 Final Fate, 4 of each Chronicle. Oh, my God. And you can go Vorpal Titan off of the Chronicle of Awakening, nuke every single non-basic, and then Flashback Chronicle, just blow up 3 basics. into Primal Fisher and Cityscape mana bases across the board. Worst position Vorpal Titan that I've ever seen, sadly. Yeah, but to be fair, there is also a lot of people leaning on Nascent Light Vein and leaning on Temple of Origins. A lot of people leaning on it, and people leaning on creature lands, coalesced lands sometimes. You know, I don't think it's terrible. And even then, like, this is also just gonna be a 10/10. Like, this does come down and just kill somebody. Also on 4 Root Fossil, 2 Archaic Obelisk, and 4 Cryptolabe, Vorpal Titan will only get better. 7 decks on Chronicle of Extinction and 2 on Data Wipe, so just under a third of the meta called out that the discard plus exile is something to be on. Yeah, Data Wipe I'm always a little hesitant on just because I like the flexibility of Chronicle of Extinction a little bit more than just running a Go Blank. But yeah, like, Go Blank was great when it was in Standard. So yeah, like, Data Wipe is going to be great too. And Chronicle Extinction is Data Wipe or Go Blank, but you spend 1 more mana to have an Edict or a Board Wipe, and you can also flash it back from your graveyard to win. Yeah, this is sweet. 24 lands, but it's 8 fetches and then 16 basics. Sideboard is 1 Lurking Fear Colossus, 2 Club Promoter, 1 Hungry Blob, 1 Thunderous Avalanche, 2 Final Fate, 4 Dissect Intel, 1 Upstage, 1 Serrated Fossil, and 2 Soul Guide Lanterns. Scary. And Stasis, the last deck on our stream. I was right. You're on Bant Builder. You're on Builder of Monuments. Yippee! We have 4 Star-Studded Sagittars, 2 Mana Harvesters, 3 Kineos Bladebound, 4 Builder of Monuments, and 3 Survivors of the New World. As well as 3 Severin Sparkmind, 3 Illustrious Shengfa, 4 Planned Obsolescence, 1 Stasis Chamber. It's Stasis, get it? But also, it's really good with Builder of Monuments. Also, so is Planned Obsolescence. And then Builder can then get Manifest the Light Veins, and then Builder can go get Gone Pickin' or Fall of Tracks, and then Builder can also just go get Star-Studded Sagittar at any point. Sweet. Very sweet. 23 lands across... Oh, yeah, Warpway Rings. There we go. I called it, because you can Builder it out. Missed the chance to call this deck Builder of the New World. You missed your chance to... actually... Stasis, I know you want a Cityscape promo. You have to get a promo of Builder of Monuments as Bob the Builder. I'm sorry, it's just law. You have to do it. You have to do it, Stasis. You can't promo Cityscape if you win. You'll just have to win another GP after this one. Just win next month as well. Win this month and next month. Become one of 2 people qualified for Worlds with 3 GP wins. That simple. But yeah, this deck is sweet. 3 Cityscape, 4 Primal Fisher, 1 Warpway Rings, with 4 Light Vein, 3 Sylvan District, 3 Plains, 3 Forests, 2 Islands. This is what I mean, where I'm like, I could also solve this problem by being bad at Magic and winning 0 times. That's true. Also, Stasis, I will say, we were just talking about Vorpal Titan being bad into all of these fetches. You're on 8 basics, my friend. 8 whole basic lands. You have 1 more basic land that makes mana than non-basic land that makes mana. And 8 basic fetches. That is true. But I do think Vorpal Titan is likely to blow up at least a couple of your lands. Got to play against this deck in an early form. It's scary. Oh, yeah. From everything I've seen about this deck, it's really cool. Mathin Tanchio, I believe. These cards are not real. This is a fan-made, community-led format called Revolution Custom Magic. This is essentially a Revolution Custom Standard. It is a custom Magic the Gathering format where the sets are all community-made by members of the community. Sorry, losing my train of thought because it is almost 2 in the morning for me. Essentially, this is, folks have made their own custom Magic the Gathering sets, submitted it, and the curators of this format let have 6 different sets in this format, with one set new joining once every 4 months, and the oldest set in the format leaving, to create something reminiscent of a standard rotating environment. We do monthly constructed tournaments called Grand Prix that are set on different locations in the different planes that our sets are featured on. This month we are in GP Whitecliff, which is the location of the set, one of the locations on the plane that we got our set rotated in January of last year. It's a very fun format to try out if you're even remotely interested. I'll go ahead and drop the link to the custom Magic the Gathering Discord server in chat again real quick. This format is called Revolution. It is a custom standard format. That is the Discord channel if you're Discord server if you are ever interested in checking out. If you're interested in seeing anything about the format, I have everything on this channel is all content going over everything in the format. I cover my my monthly GP runs. I do decklist streams when a new GP has begun, as we have just begun today. And I also do videos talking about the monthly patch changes as rather than bans, the curators try to lean towards card adjustments instead. Though there are 2 cards banned this month as the curators were not able to settle on appropriate changes for those cards in time for the monthly patch. But yeah, the community is small, but it's very lively, and there's a lot of very friendly passion for both the competition and all of this just love for the design and the gameplay. Great to have you, and looking forward to seeing you in the Revolution chat. Beyond that, this is the end of the stream. This is the last deck. As far as Stasis' sideboard, we've got 2 Hungry Blob, 2 Talpa, 3 Rift, 1 Zakros Decree, 1 Establishmentarianism, 2 Fall of Tracks, and 4 Soul Guide Lanterns. Pretty proud of the Stasis Chamber and the Zakros Decree techs. So why are we not playing Calamity Kitty with Vorpal Titan to haste in the 10-10? That's a good question. Why are we not playing that? Because Philippe's down on red. Though honestly, like, Philippe could totally be on red. Like, rather than being on Chronicle of Extinction Final Fate, you just go, like, red-green. Because then you get to play... Because, like, you only have a couple multicolored cards, so Mana Harvester is not actually that great. Red-green gets you, Stockbroker? I think. Hold on. Yeah, Speculative Stockbroker. Red-green gets you Speculative Stockbroker, gets you Calamity Cat, so your Chronicle of Awakening gets to cheat something in, and gets you... Chronicle of Armageddon instead, which is also very, very brutal. Somehow, Builder, Kainos, and Manifest Light Veins all have Vigilance. Yeah, you also get Abominable Avalanche. Yeah, I feel like I might have to try this like red-green Chronicle build, where rather than Chronicle of Extinction, you're on Chronicle of Awakening and Chronicle of Armageddon. Slowly morphing into the red-green landfall deck. I mean, listen, like if you're not playing Skotha as your ramp target or as your like cheat-in target besides Vorpal Titan, you might as well play Warden of Tremors. Nah, I don't know. I'm excited to see how Philippe's deck performs. I'm excited to see how everybody's deck performs. Going over the matchups real quick before I call it a night. We have myself up against Provocative. I feel like I'm slightly favored, but then again, I felt like Provocative was favored last time and I won. So I have no idea how this is going to go. This deck is definitely built to play the long game better than the last time I played against Provocative, which is scary Because this time I want the long game. I definitely want the long game. Make it Teamer for Flage. Yeah, that's it, Panders. All Who Wander on white-black colorless control up against Styles on blue-white Drago. I have no idea who wins that one. That is a control. That is a 2.5 hour matchup right there, if I've ever seen one. You're facing down 31 creatures. Good luck. Yeah, this is gonna be a hard matchup. Crush on the Lightspeed Launcher deck versus Toasty on blue-black bats, Chitter Bats. I feel like this matchup is favored towards Crush, but I want Toasty to win it because I love Chitter and Gargantua, and I love seeing Chitter and Gargantua win. So, no offense, Crush, I'm rooting for Toasty, but I think you are favored in this matchup. Silver on this is gonna be the like mid-range big bomb matchup. Ricky versus Silver. Silver on the red-green ramp deck versus Ricky on Consonants, of course. Batch dodged the Forget Their Name deck. Yeah. Toasty's not against Forget Their Names, though. Toasty's one of 3 Bats players, so we'll see. I genuinely don't know. Much like with All Who Wander versus Styles, I don't know who would win this matchup between Ricky and Silver. I do feel like it's going to come down to potentially play draw difference and just like how lucky people's draws are. Platy on the green-white Theros enchantments / auras deck versus Wiffle on bats. That's another bats deck that dodged Forget Their Names. And I do think this deck could just punch through here really well. Like, Star-Studded Sagittar has reach, thankfully. Aras's Handmaiden has reach, but I don't think that's enough. Yeah, I don't think that's enough. Yeah, I feel like Wiffle is going to have, like, it's going to be a case of, I think Platy just has to kill Wiffle before Wiffle wins. Is the situation. This is an aggro versus combo matchup. Because Wiffle just needs like a couple turns of time to get enough bats in their bin, get the bats all out of the bin, get Kimmis out of the bin, get Kimmis into play, and then just like kill the opponents. I think bats is an aggro deck for what it's worth, but I think in this particular matchup, it's going to play a lot like aggro versus combo, where Platy just has to kill the bats deck before the bats deck gets to pop off. Because once the bats deck pops off, I think Platy's going to have a lot of trouble. Scribble on Esper Concord versus Viola on oh no. The lack of removal for Seeker can be tough for sure. And Wiffle is not really on removal in the main. Not really in removal in general. Like, Distract's really the only option for like taking stuff, stopping stuff being in play. Vanax's Judgment is never doing more than 2 modes here. Bad matchup for Dragon Age. Yeah. I don't know how well Dragon Age can do against Sindaido Shengfa and a bunch of golems. Or not even a bunch of golems, just like Ruins Awaken. Actually, I'm actually not so sure this is a bad matchup for Dragon Age. I think Dragon Age could do decently. The Ominous Slaughter is a problem. This could be a tough matchup, actually. Yeah. Well, I'm rooting for Viola. I think Scribble is probably favored, but I'm rooting for Viola because I love Dragon Age. Got that mid-range deck in a playtesting state before the live ended. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh wait, this isn't the counterspell deck. Yeah, it's not. This is the contest coordinator deck. The counterspells are non-existent. What? Hold on. Right. The blue is literally just for Seal Shoals, Hand Attack, Light Vein Purifier, and Dormant Monstrosity. Saw Scribble and defaulted to assuming 12 counter spells. Yeah, fair. Kilgaris on Bant Titans, Bant Golems versus Tomas on Swine. Um, I feel like if Tomas gets a blitz, gets to blitz out fast enough, that could be very good for them. But I do think Kilgaris probably is more likely to go over top of what Tomas is doing. So I think Kilgaris is probably favored there. Philippe versus the Bai. I think Philippe has a good chance here, but I'll wait to see how the matchup goes. I think Philippe looks pretty favored. You're right, Scribble. Or not, God, my brain is wild, and I saw Zangy say stuff about Scribble. You're right, Stasis. Oh, it's too late. Turn 2, Unspeaking Titan might be a matchup difference. Yeah, turn 2, Unspeaking Titan is definitely the kind of thing that just takes over a matchup. So I think Kilgaris is favored there. But it's going to be an interesting matchup to see, I think. Cajun versus Zangy. Oh God. What I'm inclined to say is the best aggro deck of the field versus Zangy doing what Zangy does best. Set designer versus set designer. So this is basically which is better, Theros Age of Trax or GQ Chaos Reigns. This one matchup determines all of that. Would you agree, Zangy? I love both of those sets, by the way, just to be clear. We have Itai versus Cool Beans. I still think Itai's deck is just really rad. I'm very interested to see how it performs. Super low to the ground aggro generally beats control, but we'll see. Lecty's better not betray me. Yeah, hey, Zangy, think of it this way. If you lose to a card you designed, so you're kind of winning in the end. Cool Beans on, oh god, right. Grixis Prismatic Mantle. I don't know what Cool Beans is cooking, but it's main deck coup d'etat, so we'll see how it goes. Main deck coup d'etat does look pretty good into what Itai's doing, to be fair. Like, oh my god, it's really good into what Itai's doing. Dear God. Oh no. Is Beans on any copies? No, Beans is not on Get Your Wish. So just kind of has to get that coup naturally. But 4 Industrialize, 3 Ignited Soul, 4 All That Remains, and Light Vein Arrow as well with the Scry. I feel like this is favored towards Beans just because like it is not necessarily like a breakneck aggro deck, but it is a like very solid build up stats aggro deck into a ton of interaction. And like Chronicle is pretty good against them. Coup is really good against them. The one saving grace here is that Overbearing Researcher makes so much of that targeted removal so much more awkward. But even then, like, that takes some time for Overbearing Researcher to really put in the work to make that ward cost really prohibitive. Stasis on Bant Bob the Builder versus Magma Dragon on Swablu Seas. I feel like this is skewed towards Stasis. I do think Magma Dragon has some good pieces in this matchup, though. I do think Synod of Sanctions is solid here. I do think that there's a world where, you know, Brewing Storm can do some good just in terms of, you know, like, bounce the Manifest Light Veins, bounce a Gone Pickin'. Not the best thing in the world to be doing, but is just, like, an option. And admittedly, I think the play patterns are pretty straightforward with this deck of, like, just trying to get down a Survivors or Builder on 3, or a Severin on 3. Pretty straightforward. And if nothing else, this would be very hard for Star-Studded Sagittar to connect versus the deck whose curve stops at 3. Swablu Seas needs to stall out Bob or die instantly. Or die, basically, yeah. Yeah, they need to stall out Bob. You know, Synod of Sanctions is pretty good at that. No Time to Waste is very effective at that, as is Social Engineering. Hot Greek men are going to shine in this matchup. I mean Bob the Builder. Yeah. I think I'm inclined to agree. I think you're slightly favored Stasis, but I do think this matchup could go either way. I'm interested to see how that shapes up as well. Split is on white-black control, as they are wont to do, versus Dravos versus Petra on the January winning deck list. I don't know who's favored here. I think it might be Split purely off the back of 3 main deck Chronicle of Extinction, but it could go either way. Kumrak versus Epid. Kumrak on the Esper Kanai Stone control versus Epid on second place January deck list. I think Epid is slightly favored. I think Kumrak has some interesting pieces to play against this matchup. Some pieces that might be good into Consonance. You know, just like board wipes, removal, just play the game. Yeah, I think if Kumrak can keep Epid on the back, if Kumrak can keep Epid from being able to develop what they want to, this is going to be a good matchup for Kumrak. If Epid is able to start spiraling out of control fast enough, like I think Epid really needs to be on the offense, really needs to be like getting the Sagittar in for combat damage once, twice, and like just building up the mana as fast as they can to get to a Consonance and just like bury Kumrak under more things than they can reasonably answer. But yeah, I agree. I like counterspell decks into ramp decks a lot as well. PTM versus Li. PTM on the activated ability aggro deck. I think PTM is favorite here. I think Li's deck is really cool, but I think it does just explode in the face of aggro, and I think activated ability aggro is the best aggro deck in the format. And PTM has been the champion of this deck this month, so only having Omen as a counterspell. Yeah, there's Omen and Judgment. So Kumrak does have a decent amount of stack interaction. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I want to know how Li's deck performs. I don't think I can watch this round 1 match because it feels like watching car crash when you know it's gonna happen. Oh. H-Squid against Dr. Chipmunk. H-Squid on pure blue-black flash. Versus Chip on red-white Electies. How does Bats play against blue-black flash? I do think of the Bats decks, I think Chips is possibly the best positioned into this matchup. Hey, it's a blue deck, or it's a black deck, but it's not one on All That Remains. Or is it All That Remains? Not All That Remains. Forget their names. I'm good at remembering card names. Yeah, the Bats decks all dodged. Forget your names. All the Bats dodged it. Let's go. But yeah, I think Toasty deck would be like slightly more favored. Nah, Toasty's not on a stack interaction in the main. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this matchup. I mean, Chip is on Dissect until like Chip has the like slightly higher degree of interaction compared to the other Bats decks. But I feel like this is H-Squid favored. It's also a control deck on 0 board wipes, 0 Chronicle even. It seems massively favored for Bats. I wouldn't necessarily describe this as a control deck. I feel like this is almost like tempo. Because like this deck has Maim as the only hard removal. And the sideboard has no additional removal spells. Oh, no, it has Omen of Slaughter. Yeah, okay. I'm inclined to say this is favored for Bats. A lot of counter spells, but counter spells don't do much against surfacing a bunch of spells for a bunch of 1/1s with flying for free. So, you know, you can counter the Bats on the way down for 2 mana, but that's only going to do so much. And, you know, turn 1 Laystone does just eventually spiral the game out of control. Yeah, I think Chip is favored. Dosvi on PTM's red-green ramp versus Panders on VIP section. Panders, you said you played this matchup before, right? I want to know how you feel about this matchup. Let's hover Beyonce here. Oh, you've not played this matchup. I thought you said you had played a red-green ramp. Oh, you played the boomerang. I see. All right. Well, I feel like this has the potential to go over top of you. Like, there's just enough big things that just murderize you. Like, Jens, Arter, Warden of Tremors, Hoenn Champion, they all do just kind of make your life total go to nothing. It'll be beat for beat mid range. Yeah, I think this is gonna be another case like with like Silver versus Ricky, where I think it really is gonna come down to play draw and how well both of you draw. And then finally, Requiem versus Volt Switch. Requiem also on the draw go deck, and Volt Switch on Night Riders. I think if Volt Switch can get on the board in any capacity, this goes very well for them. But that being said, there is there's 6 removal spells at instant speed to just pick something up off the board. Might side in data wipes, who knows? Try to rip Warden from hand. You think mid-range mirrors are some of the least play draw matchups actually? Search and Seizure for Prismatic Search and Seizure. Oh, yeah. I feel like this might be favored towards Requiem, but I'm interested to see how Volt Switch performs. I think End of Mutations is just like point at the Drago player and tell them to explode. Like, God, this is the matchup for End of Mutations if there ever has been one. Yeah, you just End of Mutations, you play you get to play like End of Mutations, you get to play Crumbling Tower, and maybe Data Wipe. Search and Seizure plus Liquidate off the back of Prismatic Mantle make me think that I have a real shot at just shutting out the deck potentially, depending on how fast they get on board. We'll see. Yeah, I do think your opponent is liable to get on board pretty quickly, just thanks to Stockbroker, Sunsoaker, and Gentrifiers. Like their creature base is pretty like solid mid-rangey up to Warden of Tremors and Hoenn Champion coming down on 6. But like their curve's actually not too high beyond these things. Like they go like 2s, 3s, 4s, another 3, and then like burn spell, burn spell, burn spell. God, instant and sorceries are all damage. That's still so scary. That's something to be worried about for you, I think, is the fact that they just have like 9 burn spells. And you have no life gain. No life gain in the 75. So, yeah, your life total seems very fraught. I think I think with all of the burn spells being what they are and the haste creatures, like with the Yens, with the Arter, with the fact that Sunsoaker wants to get aggressive anyways, Hoenn Champion makes hasting creatures. What if you wanted to play control, but Deoxys said explode? Oh, Sonido is a life gain. How have you not seen this card before? Oh my god, you haven't seen End of Mutations? This card's so perfect. I love End of Mutations so much. It used to be another level of messed up. Because it used to be players couldn't cast non-creature spells unless they dealt combat damage this turn, and spells you cast cost X less to cast, where X is the amount of damage you've dealt to opponents this turn. Yeah, pre-rotation, End of Mutations was obscene, and it's still pretty crazy. But I don't think it really popped up at all in the last GP, to my knowledge. I don't believe we talked about it at all through the decklist stream. But yeah, this card is super, super sweet. Just like the red card that you pull out as the like fuck you button to control decks, and this is the matchup for that. Um, I I feel like round game one is going to be really awkward for Volt Switch. I think any game post sideboard where End of Mutations is able to come down, or where any post sideboard game where End of Mutations ends up in Volt Switch's hand, I think is a win, because when Volt Switch draws the End of Mutations, it is going to come down at some point, because the reality of End of Mutations, the reality of this matchup, is that it is going to be like approximately 15 turns of Volt Switch trying to kill Requiem until Requiem can finally get like Shangfa, 100-handed pillars to just like murder somebody. There are like 7 Draco decks. God, there's so many control players in this field. I'm a little nervous about my deck. I expected people to be fast and they're greedy. How many decks are running Shangfa? That's a good question. We have Kumrak, Scribble, Styles, Requiem, Zangi, Ricky, Epid, Split, All Who Wander, Stasis. That is 10. 10 Shangfa players. Your deck is resilient against the white-blue lists, I think. The scary ones are the Chronicle ones. Peacock, I think you're favored against control decks. You shouldn't fret. Yeah, I'm nervous against Chronicle lists. And the problem is a good number of these control lists are Chronicle lists. Like, we've got 1, 2, not counting me, 3, 4, 5, 6 players besides me on Chronicle of Extinction, and a number of them are either on like a bunch in the main or a bunch in the sideboard. And then like I'm on the 2-2 split. Cool Beans is on 2 in the main. Kumrak is on 2-2 split. Yeah. I think I just want to dodge all 6 other Chronicle of Extinction players for as long as I can make it happen. Yeah, Shangfa is just so good. I may have to do a quick count of like what's the most played card in the field right now. That takes so long though. Yeah, so that is the full breadth of the field right now. Very excited to see how this tournament shapes up. Very excited to get to my round 1 match against Provocative. Wish me luck, but also wish my opponent luck. I'm eager to play against Provocative again. Eager to see how their deck has changed from last month. I know last month was a very rough run for them, and as much as I would love to, go the distance, I always want to try and win if I can. I definitely am excited to see how this month shapes up for Provocative, and I'm hoping that they have a better month than they did last month, even if that might come at my expense. Because as much as I want to win, I also just love seeing other people have a good time too. So. This might be one I honestly ride it out. Even if I go 0-2, I might still ride out the future rounds just for the sake of content. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Not that I'm intending on going 0-2 by any means. So, see you all in round 1. Thank you all for tuning in for the Decklist stream. It's been a joy as always. If you constrict a Shangfa board wipe activation, this deep GP, you'll die happy. Yeah, God, that is living the dream for sure. And maybe depending on what the next GP looks like, Prov, maybe you and I do a duo stream? We'll see how that all shapes up. Excited to see more content from you, by the way. It's always cool to see. Until round 1. See y'all.